I do?
Covino and Rich.
Are you ready? Honestly, how do I deal with you every day?
Get ready.
Heard all about it on the radio.
Whoa! Yeah!
Holy mother nugget! And holy mother meatball!
I'm the smartest man alive! You're so ridiculous. What? You're such a fool. Get out of here.
Oh, I'm a disc jockey.
What's a disc jockey?
Here we go. Covino and Rich.
Let's go!
Well, hello, buddies. Yeah, huh? And that's what's up. Rock on. On this Taco Vato Tuesday. Yeah! I saw the forecast. It's raining tacos from out of the sky. No need to ask why. Covino, Rich, Spotty. It's sports. It's entertainment. It's news. Hope you had a great Monday night. A nasty Nestor sort of Monday night. A nasty Nestor Cortez sort of Monday. You love if you don't like the Yankees, you could yank these. Rock it out. Yeah. Happy penis to all and to all a happy Tuesday. Thanks for being part of our Patreon. It really does mean a lot. It is cool that you're part of our Patreon. It's our livelihood. It's what we do. No, it really does. I think about it all the time. It means a lot. It means everything. Mm-hmm. It does. That's why when people say, I miss you guys, wish you're still on Sirius XM, I'm like, oh, please join us. Yeah, just come over here. Just join us then. I miss you. You don't need to miss us. There's no need. All of the time. There's no need. I keep saying it. We're right here. Don't miss us. Bothers me. Christopher Frey, what's up? Darren Bury. Thank you, Kim. Lots of shout-outs to give today. Are you going to bring the fury like Darren Bury? Bringing the fury.
Is it Bury or like Berry?
You know, it's funny. We had this conversation before, on and off the air. I went to school with a kid named Jimmy Bury.
Oh,
right?
Okay. And it's spelled the same.
Yeah. He's like, yo, it's funny. He says Bury. It's Bury. I'm pretty sure it's Bury.
Bury.
Dan Bury. Darren Bury.
Dan Bury Mint?
Yeah.
The Darren Bury Mint?
Well, hey, anyone that's subscribing, anyone that's with us, people pronounce their names different. It really does mean a lot. But I went to school with a kid named Bury. That's the truth. It's spelt the same way and all that. But anyway, thank you, Adam. Thank you guys for all your feedback. Thanks, everybody who's watching, who's listening, for your subscription. Tell a friend. We appreciate that. Thank you again, Darren Bury. Rock on. Appreciate you. There was a kid in my high school, Uriah, last name Fuchs. And of course, they tried to do like Fuchs. But
Fuchs.
Do you think any kid called that guy Fuchs? It is Fuchs.
Uriah fucks.
But do you think anyone's like, oh, yes, Fuchs? Come on.
It is. It's Bury. It's Bury.
Yeah, Bury. But I had called him Bury in the past, and I remember, and he was like, Bury? I'm like, well, dude, I went to school with a kid named Bury. Anyway. Well, there's Covino here, Rich, Spot. Let's go. It's funny you should say that because celebrities over the years have come out years after they're famous and say things like, well, people have been saying my name wrong forever, and I just sort of went with it. I know one of them was Sarah Michelle Gellar. And Camila Cabello. Camila was Camila Cabello. And then she's like, all right, now that you like me, let me let you know that you've been saying this shit wrong the whole time. So Camila Cabello.
My personal favorite, Dan Cortez became Dan Cortese.
Yeah. No, my personal favorite, Mike Stanton became Giancarlo Stanton. Do you know that, Spot? I don't even know if he knows that.
What?
Giancarlo on the Yankees, when he entered baseball,
I know Mike Stanton.
He was going by his like white boy name. He was like, I'm Mike Stanton. But there was another Mike Stanton who was a predominant pitcher for the Yankees.
Maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
And to not be confused and to, I don't know, to sell the Giancarlo roots. The Latino dream. He went with Giancarlo. He's so Parlo. Well, just recently, Spot, you've always said it right, but recently, didn't Lindsay Lohan say that everyone that says Lindsay Lohan, it's not Lohan, it's Lohan. Well, like almost one syllable, like Lohan. Had this revelation on the show. Yeah. I say Covino, but it's really Covino.
Covino, yeah.
It is. And my dad says Covino, but I've always said my whole life, I say Covino unless I want to make sure you're getting the spelling right. Like if I'm talking about my Instagram, Hit me up at Steve Covino.
I do Covino when I say it, not because that's how I say it, but let's say we're on Fox. And I'm like, you could hit us up, Covino and Rich, because if I say Covino, my instinct is that some bozos out there are going to do CAV.
That's exactly it.
Just like, where am I right now?
You're in, if people are watching on tier 2, Spot is in Uranus.
Uranus.
Is it actually Uranus?
It's Uranus, but I am in Uranus right now. I'm coming into your homes.
No.
In Uranus.
It's not his first time, or his last.
Or my last. It's not the last. Not the last time I've been in Uranus.
What is it? Our buddy Mark Paul Gosselaar said, really, you should call him Mark Paul Gosselaar. But who's going to do that now? At this stage of the game.
Not me.
Not me either.
Yeah. Spot, since you're in Uranus, and today's going to be a day where Covino checks all the things off this list of... Covino's got like 50 things right.
He made a list yesterday. He didn't say one word.
I was like, Which
was great. And if you missed yesterday's show, fantastic.
My mom loved it. My mom, she's the big critic.
It had all the emotions you could possibly ask for. It was depressingly awesome.
There was highs, there was lows, there was moments of
depressingly awesome.
Of real life Rich.
Awesomely depressing.
Wow, Rich is a real person.
Real life.
We saw the real side of Rich yesterday. Very special, Covino and Rich, if you missed it on Patreon. But it's Siskel, Ebert, and Hortensia, and you got 3 thumbs up.
Oh, wow, because your mom is a critic.
Yeah, 3 thumbs up.
Well, before you get into your list, Spot, since he is in Uranus, Spot's new backdrop is actually the planet Uranus, if you're not watching. Did you see the crystal clear telescope photo they released yesterday?
Probably.
Spot.
Of what?
Was it from Hubble?
Are there tatties?
Google this. Yeah,
is it from New York City?
It's telescopes that could see tatties from miles away. No.
Nice.
It's a telescope. It's the clearest picture of stars.
The one I have on my balcony that sees across the way.
Spot, just
Have you ever
search.
consider that, by the way, for your balcony, getting a telescope?
You creepo. That's
not
creepo.
a bad idea.
Creepo behavior, but
like an actual
Well,
telescope.
I have a view of the night sky and the moon, and
I know we have light pollution, but
and
with
the
the right
hills.
telescope, you can see a lot.
yeah.
so search telescope stars, and honestly, Spot, it's the second thing that comes up. It's Auto Evolution is the article. That's the website. I saw this a few times. NASA's $10 billion telescope. It's almost like all these blurry space photos you would see back in the day. Now there's one in like 4K. And it's pretty remarkable. Wow. Have you seen this or no?
You said auto. Oh, here it is. Auto Evolution. Wow, look at that.
Yeah, it's like, wow.
I'm just gonna stare at it and say, "Wow." I'm
Wow.
not showing. Wow.
Like all these blurry photos that like the top picture was like what we'd always used to see. Like, those are stars.
It's like they upgraded their camera.
Yeah, no,
Like
it's
their,
really
cell
like
phone.
they went from
They got a better cell phone.
SD to HD.
Man.
And it just shows you how crazy the solar system is.
Well, you can see. You ever watch a sporting event and they zoom into the moon? And like, what are they using to zoom into that? Because you're seeing all the craters of the moon. You're like, wow.
It's
Things have stepped up
you
tremendously.
You mean the universe? Like our solar system is minute.
Oh, yeah, we are just a grain of sand, a grain of salt in the big
Like
picture.
you got to watch those videos where it's like the perspective of you versus the other planets.
No, I didn't want to do that. Makes me feel
versus the Milky Way.
makes me feel like all the worries I have on a daily basis are worth nothing when you tell me that Earth is like
It's true though.
I know.
That's
You
why
need
Spot
to-
says, what does it all mean?
What does it all mean? It's like
We're just a little ant.
like I say that when I walk around and I look up at a star or I look up at a planet and I'm like, that planet, like sometimes when like Jupiter's out in the sky, right? Do you know how large Jupiter is? Like thousands and thousands of
I know.
Earths can fit in the eye of Jupiter.
Our planet is tiny in the
So
bigger picture.
I
We're just a little who from who.
but from here, it looks so tiny. So imagine how we are from the rest of the universe.
It's kind of how it is.
Yeah, I agree with our buddy Stu. Said Britney Spears needs that camera. What's with the blurry nudie selfies?
She's got the weakest
Does
camera.
she have like the, when did they take away her freedom? Like 13, 14 years ago? Does she still have a StarTech flip phone?
She's got
Is
the
that what
weakest
she's
camera.
taking those pictures
And
with?
tons of nudies.
She has the iPhone 1.
She's going berserk with the nudies, man.
I wrote that down. If you want to give me your quick answer, then I'm going to sit back and let Covino get to Covino.
I mean, this is like all dated stuff for the most part.
Dated?
Yeah, but I'll get to it.
The question
yesterday was rich for 3 hours, but it was great.
The question I saw posed, like Jesse the Body's action figure. I saw this question posed.
Did you see that this weekend?
On TMZ. I did. At WrestlingCon. Britney Spears. It was cause for celebration or concern? Should we be celebrating that she's free and, hey, she's been cooped up for over a decade? Or should it be a sense of, man, she's not cooped up anymore and first thing she does is go naked on Instagram? Concern or celebration?
Well, when you read the things she says about her dad in those captions about how he ruined her life, it concerns me as a dad because it reminds you like how much impact you have on your kid just by being you, and you're like, man, I hope my kid never says any shit like that about me just because I'm me. I'm not defending this guy at all, but she's like publicly like just shitting on how he ruined her life. So when she dealt with that much trauma, I mean, it all sort of makes sense, right? I mean, you expect her to be acting like a normal person? That's the thing. It's like, well, what do you expect? It seems that she didn't have a normal upbringing. So what do you expect from her? To behave like a normal person? She's not going to. So I feel like we're getting what's expected from a person that's been under the ruling thumb and watchful eye of her father.
I do wonder, though. You have a very creative daughter, and anyone that's got a kid that's got some talent, right? Whether it be sports or art or
juggling.
Maybe they have the ability to ride a motorcycle in a cage at a young age.
It's in my wife's blood.
Yeah, the Tice family is a long line of motorcycle cage riders, right?
Her great aunt
was friends with Ringling.
No, used to ride in the balls on the motorcycles on Coney Island.
That's not a joke.
This is not a joke.
You never know.
So you don't even know what Kristen's capable of. You don't know what your wife is capable of.
Kids might be circus.
There might be circus acts.
Never know.
It's in the blood.
They could be in Rich's Rich had a family line of circus acts too. Yeah. They were in the Dingling Brothers. Remember that?
Yeah. Spot, you don't know if let's say you and Kristen,
you guys could connect.
You had twins. What if they were like the amazing Sorge brothers and they did like a high wire act?
Rich's Uncle Bozo had a lot of contacts.
And we both have twins in our family.
See?
My dad was a twin, fraternal. Her sisters are identical. Could have a twin circus act.
And by the way, I'm just looking at our feedback. Wes in Idaho, the answer is yes. He goes, it's got to be that Rich and his buddies were the most normal people at that wrestling con.
Oh, absolutely.
Like by far. I'm saying that kindly. Like, yes, by far I was the most normal human being at that event. Now.
And Rich is a maniac. So I should tell you something.
Your daughter, super talented 12-year-old.
Her new thing's ukulele, man. She's getting pretty good.
If you could get your daughter playing the ukulele the way she is, she's a talented kid. Would you wish the Britney Spears, Taylor Swift, Ariana Grande life for her if it meant the millions and billions of dollars and the fame and the being able to be an artistry life, if it came along with what goes along with celebrity?
I think every parent wants to feel like Tom Brady's dad.
Oh my God, I wanted to cry.
That their kid is living their best life and being as great as they could possibly be. And that the world embraces them for who they are and their greatness.
Spot. Tom Brady's dad was crying on the last episode of Man in the Arena, but Tom Brady's dad,
proud
he's
of
crying.
Tommy,
I'm like,
Tommy's really a good guy.
I'm just so proud and honored to be his dad.
Because he works hard and he's a great guy and he's proud and honored to be the father of Tom Brady. It is
heart-wrenching,
heartwarming, and all you could possibly want out of being a parent. Tom Brady's dad. You think Tom Brady hit the lottery in life. Tom Brady worked very hard to be who he is. Yeah. Who really hit the lottery is Tom Brady's dad. Because even when he talks about Tommy, little Tommy, what a great kid he is, he refers to everything as we. Because he's there with him. That's his son.
Then Tom's crying like he's
my
been there
God.
every step of the way.
And that's all you really want. That's it. So I do think about that. I'm like, yeah, she's talented. Hey, wouldn't it be great if she was the next blank?
Yeah, but then,
And
but I'm
her
saying like,
talents that'd be awesome. But like, yeah, do you want that life for your kid?
like I wonder what I mean.
Not really.
Would Britney Spears middle
lot of
class?
pressure.
Would Britney Spears middle class? Because didn't you grow up in a trailer? I'm not trying to be rude, but didn't Britney come from like Trailer
wrong?
Park, Louisiana?
Why is that rude? What's wrong with growing up in a trailer?
Oh, but I didn't want to make it sound like I was being rude. But do you think middle class, middle
that
lower
rude?
class, Britney Spears, 40-year-old like mother of two, like working at the store would be better off than what Britney Spears went through as Britney Spears, the megastar?
No. I don't think she'd trade in her experiences. That's what she does. She's a talent. That's who she is. It was just all handled incorrectly.
And
again, dude, people do their best, man. Who knows what the answers
I'm
are
just saying,
sometimes.
like, you saw-
For all we know, her dad did his best with what he was dealing with.
I don't know.
I don't know
Yeah.
that. I'm just saying, but for all we know, what do we
and,
really
like,
know?
Look what money does to people.
Look at that spot. Look at that movie that you and I watched. I feel like Covino saw it too, but I feel like you didn't like it. The one where the Indian kid gets hit on the bike and then wakes up and the Beatles never existed.
I love
Yesterday.
that. Yesterday, it's a fantastic show. It's a fantastic movie.
I thought it was a
definitely
good.
seen that.
I thought it was a good movie.
I loved it.
definitely seen that.
Okay, I know he's definitely, but I feel like if he would have talked about it, if he liked it though, it was
I have.
good. It was good.
No,
I thought it was
liked a
good.
lot.
All right,
I thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was really good.
I
And
think
Lily James went on to become Pamela Anderson.
I thought. Oh my god, I forgot. Same person. Now, in that movie, not to spoil a 5-year-old movie, but if you remember, he goes to see John Lennon because in that universe, John Lennon was never a Beatle, never got shot. So John Lennon just like an old guy living
It kind of ruined the cinematic plot twist to the movie.
living in the woods. It didn't ruin the cinematic.
Ruin the whole movie.
That's like a huge.
That's the plot twist?
That's
Ruined the
to
whole
me-
thing.
To me, that's like the biggest reveal of that movie.
That's a good movie, though.
The biggest reveal.
No,
No,
that's
all right.
it.
All right. Well, but I'm saying if you stole all the Beatles songs because you didn't steal them, but they never were there, that the Beatles would have lived a normal life. I think about that with all right, Bob Saget. Great life. Right? Bob Saget. Full House, stand-up comedy, household name. Died in his 60s. Regular Bob Saget that was not in a hotel, that was not touring around the world. Regular middle-class Robert Saget was an accountant. He lived to 90. Would he trade in that? You know what I'm saying? Like these stars, they die early. That's another question. Would you rather live
What
a
does Bob Saget being a star have to do with him passing away early?
because he was traveling on the road at six. Like,
Maybe it had an effect on him. I don't know.
but I'm saying a lot of these are like. Would you rather be?
When the universe is ready for you, they come for you.
I think it's a good question, but subjective. Ask someone famous next time. You interview famous people all the time.
It's like
Ask them.
And
Hey, would you trade it in? Hey,
By the
Brittany,
way,
seriously, would you trade in all your success for a quote unquote normal life?
Look at Betty White. She had fame and lived to 99. Just because you're famous doesn't mean you're dying young
And I also think
or
that
it's taking its toll.
they're famous for a reason because that was their passion.
Yep.
So that's their love. It's just there's a lot that comes with it. So I don't think they would change or trade in their passion for the negative that comes along with it. It's just some people handle it better than others. And yeah, it's scary sometimes. Sometimes I think about how much I want out of life, and then there's a part of me that's like, nah, you're good right here. I'm like, no, but I want more. I'm like, yeah, you're good.
I think about it. I mean,
that's a little scary.
I guess everyone would always choose. I mean, it's the obvious answer. People would choose life. But would everybody choose life? All right.
I mean,
You know what
let me give you one example and spot you could chime in. Let me just give you one
from Uranus?
from Uranus. Spots from Uranus. I'm trying to think of. All right.
Hey, it's pretty spacious in here.
You want to leave impact.
I'm
man.
trying.
You wanna
I'm
make
trying
it
to.
count.
But I'm trying to think of someone that died not like in their 20s or 30s. Like who died at like 50? Like DMX. I don't know why that comes to mind. Like who died at like 50 something? Michael Jackson. Like people that died in their 50s, which is not a full life at all. When people live to 80, 90, 100. Do you think they would say a 50-year life of awesome is better than an 87-year life of nothing?
Don't know, man. Again, subjective.
Yeah, but then you have to. It's all about
all
their
relative.
motivation. Why are they living this life to provide for their later years, to provide for their family, to watch their family grow, or are they just doing it to live in the moment and taking as much money as possible and move on?
When you're DMX and Michael Jackson, you lived 100 lifetimes in your 50 years.
That's sort of why you might say choose that life. Do you rather would you rather be?
But what defines? Now we're going to get philosophical.
Would you rather be the 50-year-old person?
What defines a quality life? Experience,
impact.
Yeah, but family. Like you don't know your impact. Unfortunately, it's like retrospect. You don't know your impact until you've left.
Impact.
Someday someone might find the tapes of Covino and Rich 100 years from now. And
What difference did you make?
This show changed my life.
Yeah.
Well,
how much joy did you bring? How many lives did you touch?
We could be.
And the butterfly effect.
But what he's saying,
you could be the Bill and Ted of the future.
I mean, that's corny, but that's the real answer to the question.
JFK. JFK died in his 40s, but he was a president of the United States and one of the most famous faces of the 20th century. But he died before he turned 50. Was that a cooler life than if he was John Kennedy living in the Northeast working in a factory?
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
You get to play with
me personally.
Marilyn Monroe's titties.
Yeah,
all right, I have a question.
Patties.
You never broke. Like you said, I love our little pocket of where you and I live.
Thickies.
Would you rather be Steve Covino that ended up just, I don't know, like working with your buddy Gus doing appraisals, or working with your dad doing deliveries, like regular guy, but you live to 88 years old, 90 years old?
Why is the give and take?
There's a good one.
Because I'm just asking a question. Would you rather
so
live
asking a hypothetical?
Would you rather live 90 or would you rather live to 90 and do like sales or work with your buddy Gus doing appraisals, or would you rather be Steve Covino, the guy that got to play for the Yankees for 5 years, but you died at 52?
Well, you see, you're correlating fame with death.
That's what I said. It's a hypothetical.
It's a hypothetical.
I get it, but
he turned it into a hypothetical.
There are certain people, like, Jeff just mentioned, Kobe died at 41. Kobe died because he was a prominent and affluent person who decided to use helicopters to get around.
Kobe only died because he was famous.
He died because technically, if you trace it back, he died because he was
You don't take helicopter rides around Los Angeles unless you're famous.
If you have to get somewhere in a hurry.
If your mode of transportation is private plane or helicopter, you're not doing that unless you're famous. So
like,
Kobe Bryant.
You said JFK. JFK Jr. died because he was of affluence and was like, I'm going to fly planes, and ended up dying in a plane crash.
Mauser brings up the point that
the day that the music died.
Yeah.
They were trying to get to a gig. They had to get on a plane. And that's about it. So there are circumstances where your career leads to your death.
Mauser brought up.
In that case, that's where you make the comparison.
Yeah, Mauser brought up the point that like Abe Lincoln never even got to do his it's like Civil War like victory lap. Like, he wasn't really around long enough to see like all that came out of what he fought for. But
they lived their dream. I'm good with that. How much life did you live in that span? Did you live your dream? Did you have impact? It's going to be a different answer for everybody.
Okay, that's why it was
so
just
if
a
you asked Abe
hypothetical.
Lincoln, he'd be like, I was okay with it. If you asked Michael Jackson, he'd be like, I was okay with it.
What do you
asked DMX, he'd probably be like, I was okay with it. Because they fucking lived their dreams out, man. Yeah, I'm sure they would have wanted to live more, but
Steve,
if you take away, if the hypothetical is, but you take away everything that they lived for, then what kind of life is that?
You know what your job, this stemmed from you saying Melody playing the ukulele. You know what your job as a parent is? To create a environment and give your child the tools to deal with whatever comes at them.
I got a whole snap-on.
So either whether they become famous or whether they just, live a normal average life, you want them to be able to appreciate what they have, take what comes of them, and be able to live normally. Like, you don't want them to be an eccentric, crazy person. You don't want them to be unhappy all the time.
But you want your kid to know that they can have it all, and the world is their oyster
push them,
if they really want it.
You want to push them, but if they don't have the drive, you can't.
Whether you guys want to acknowledge or not, there's something special about the most random of Machine Gun Kelly. There was a belief he had inside that said, I am special and I'm driven enough to not just be some dude rapping in my basement, not just some dude making music for fun.
Yeah.
I
am a
have a
machine gun.
belief that I'm bigger than what people believe and what people see. And I think there's something really special about that, whether you like it or not. And it's not for everybody, but these dudes, these people, whether you like them or not, are living their dream. I don't think they would trade that for anything. I don't.
Do you think,
That's who they are.
Do you think Martin Luther King Jr., if they said, hey...
Who ad-libbed that speech, by the way? I didn't know that. I learned it on Bullshit with Howie Mandel.
Do you think Martin Luther King Jr.
He had a dream.
Would give up that dream and all the progress civil rights made if they said, yeah, dude, you're going to live to 90?
I mean, there's a lot of, you're asking a weird hypothetical question. It's fun to discuss, but like Spot said, it's very philosophical too.
Then let me give it, can I give you
if you believe in an afterlife, right? Then how much does it matter, right? If you have a strong faith in God, then how much does it matter? If you believe in reincarnation, then how much does it matter? If you believe that your soul comes back, and you killed it that round. How many rounds do we get? I don't know. But hey, man, you killed it that round, Dr. Martin Luther King.
12 rounds.
Get him again next time.
And then you become a slug. So if you don't win in those 12 rounds, you're a slug.
So it also depends on what you believe as a person. I can't answer that for Dr. Martin Luther King. Right. I think he's a man of faith, right? So I would assume that he would say, it was a tragedy what happened, but that's what needed to happen to make change, to create change.
He was willing to
fulfill
be
my dream. I'm willing to be that sacrifice. And look at me now. He's at a higher level somewhere. Who the fuck knows, dude? I don't know.
All right, then.
But I wouldn't trade.
If you want everyone to know your name, just go to Cheers.
It's a good one.
I had another hypothetical that has to do with this, so I'll throw it out there and we can move on.
No, we can't.
Would you rather live a longer life but be ugly?
No.
Or be really good looking?
I'm very handsome. You want proof? Want to hear what I heard on the radio this morning?
Yeah. What did you hear?
I don't want to be ugly. I have a reputation, bro. This is on the radio this morning. Picture me listening to the radio. Hold on. Oh, yeah. Here, check this out.
Handsome and blessed.
Wait.
Handsome and blessed. Oh, yeah. I'm going to play the band. The Sunday's coming up in a few minutes here on Lithium. I'll play a few more songs. An exclusive from Chris Cornell. And then the very handsome and blessed. He definitely makes more money than me. Steve Covino will be in, okay? Or did they just call him Covino? Did I give something up? Nice guy. Nice guy. Too good looking, though. Right now, though, it's the band.
Who's that, Madison?
Yeah. I'm like a nice guy, yeah. Too good looking. I know, it holds me back. Son of a bitch, I wish I was uglier.
Damn good looking.
I looked in the mirror, I'm like, she's right. Thanks, Madison, on Lithium. Would I want to live an ugly guy's life? No. If it meant more years? Nope.
All right. Handsome guy dies at 40. Super ripped, handsome guy, fucked whoever you wanted. Or ugly guy that never, ugly fat bald guy that never got touched in his life, but you lived to 90.
There's pros and cons to all of this stuff. There really is. The ugly guy sees life through a different lens, and I don't know. Spot, you want to speak on behalf of that? I don't know. How do you answer these questions, bud?
They're
I'm not a good hypothetical guy. I'm not a good hypothetical, participant. I'm just not.
Okay, that's fine. Then don't answer. I have a question. Is the reason?
Would you want to live an ugly guy's life, Spot, but live till 90? That's like a longer life as an ugly guy. It's a tough
You're
life.
still living. Once you die, you don't know what's next.
That's
that
not
could
easy,
be nothing.
man. I'm sorry. I'm okay with being ugly. Bill Jackson's not an ugly guy.
These are hypotheticals that people that aren't ugly ask.
Yeah, ask fucking the Elephant Man. See if how long he wanted to live.
Incredibly offensive question.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a fact, dude. I know it's not an easy existence. So you're telling this guy with a non-easy existence, yo, how about you could live to 100, but you're ugly?
What do you consider ugly?
Anyone
that doesn't look like you?
No, anyone that. How are you? What are you playing dumb for? You don't know what ugly looks like?
But like define ugly, because
on the inside or outside spot,
beauty is in the eye of the. Like, do I look like a crusty old witch?
Think of a warlock spot. Think of like someone that looks just.
Brian Kokomo is a handsome man.
Who?
Brian and Kokomo.
Yeah, he is.
You said a warlock. That's what I think of.
Oh. Okay.
I think on a side note, I think we have a great looking listener base.
What's
warlock?
What's the audience? I mean,
you know when comedians say great looking audience tonight, I really mean that. We have the most normal.
That is true.
Listeners, and I'm proud of that.
We do.
I am. I mean, we've met a lot of you along the way, and there's a few ugly ones, but I still like you guys.
All right. Move on.
It's an odd hypothetical.
Why?
It's a good hypothetical, but I'm not like, you have to be high to really dive into it. It's like,
you don't have to be high.
Hey, by the way, I have the most random of like deep thought, high stoner thoughts today too. So it can't, I'm glad you brought this up, because now my thought isn't going to seem as weird, but it's a good hypothetical. Rich is saying, if you're handsome, what would you take? A handsome life, die at 40, or an ugly life, live to 90?
It's a stupid question, but you make it sound like it's a hard. Make it sound like I'm asking you like the quadratic equation.
I'm saying there's no right answer because everybody's going to have a different answer. Me personally,
oh no, that's the Pythagorean theorem.
You know what? I'll take the handsome life at 40.
What is it? A plus. What is the quadratic equation again? It's like the parentheses.
A squared plus B squared.
No, that's the Pythagorean theorem. It's A times the square root of B squared plus 2AC over B.
All right, here's a better question to answer this, and we'll move on to all the other stuff. JC in Kentucky gave a great question, and this is a simple one. If you can't answer this, then you're just so bad at hypotheticals.
I have stated for years
that you're terrible.
I understand that hypotheticals are fun. I just don't like them.
You're bad at these games.
Yeah, I don't like them. I just don't. I
don't know. I don't like either option. Well, that's the whole point. You're not supposed to like either option.
No, because if you ask,
handsome guy doesn't want to die young, and an old guy doesn't want to be ugly.
It's all relative, man. Ask James Dean. Hey, James Dean. Let's say we made you fucking ugly, but you lived another 50 years. He'd probably say, no, fuck that. I'm an icon. I was handsome as fuck. I got lots of ass. People loved me. I was smoking cigarettes with a pompadour. I was loved just because I'm handsome.
Then there comes a certain point in your life where you're like,
why would I trade that?
Does handsome matter after a certain age? That's a great point, Rashawn.
It absolutely doesn't. But why would you want to live like
anyone was curious,
a half of your existence as an ugly person? That's not fun.
All right, so then answer this.
No matter what, it's not fun.
Answer this and we'll move on.
That's like asking any really extremely overweight person if they're truly happy. There's no fucking way they are. No way, no how. Especially in America, the most superficial piece of shit country in the world. We live in the center of superficiality.
I'd argue those are the Italians.
We put good-looking people on a pedestal. We follow and pay for OnlyFans. Like, are you serious? Like, in America, you think that's a fun existence? Nobody wants to be ugly or fat, unattractive, however you want to slice it or dice it.
Okay. You don't like hypotheticals.
So you're telling those people who are really deep down not happy, who again, in a world where everyone's trying to change, even attractive people are trying to change to look more attractive, you're asking them, hey, you want to live another 30 years in your miserable existence?
You're asking if someone. You're asking someone in tough circumstances. Do you want to do? Hey, it's asking someone. It's asking someone. Do you want to live in poverty for the next 50 years or live rich for 30 years?
Kind of.
Am I allowed to get plastic surgery? Because if that's the case, I'll take the ugly.
All right, so then on the flip side of your hypothetical,
I'll have the years.
There are some people that embrace
everyone with my new face.
There are some people that are like, you know what? Hey, I didn't hit the lottery when it comes to looks or whatever. So be it, whatever. Some people handle it much better than other people. Yeah. Other people, like, every time I look in a mirror, I fucking hate myself. It's like, Jesus. All right, well.
One last question, and then if you can't answer this hypothetical, then you truly are.
And on the sad part of that, there's actually attractive people that feel the same way.
Yeah.
So, I don't have the answers to these questions, man. But me personally, I know how life is being a relatively,
handsome fella.
moderately handsome fella. I'm not on the cover of Men's Health or anything like that, right? But I'm not like a mutant either at table 9. I can tell you that life's difficult, and if this is one less thing I need to worry about, I'll take that. Yeah, I'll take that option any day of the week. Life gives you plenty to feel bad about. So I don't need and I'm ugly? Fuck. I don't need that.
Spot, go up to JC's question. I forgot. It was a good one to end on. I think it was, Covino, would you rather be fat with a really tough inability to maintain your weight but have a great head of hair? Or would you rather be like ripped guy that is bald?
By the way, you weren't on the cover of, what'd you say, Men's Health? But you were on the cover of the New York Post.
I was. And I was on the cover of Men's Girth magazine. This was in the early 2000s. And New York Post, which was great. Let's go Yankees, man. Let's go Yankees. Nasty Nestor.
Men's Girth.
Nasty Nestor Cortez.
JC.
I asked it. I remembered it.
I would take ripped and bald over. I mean, I know I joke about like my hair and everything a lot.
I think a ripped bald guy is way more
ripped bald guy is way more accepted.
Full head of hair,
in our
fat guy.
society.
Fat.
Yeah. Yeah, you have to also think about the society in which we live in.
As someone, it's very hard out there for a chubbo. You don't understand. You don't get it.
It's hard out there when you're limp.
No, you're looked down upon. You think people think you're less.
No, I bet. Yeah.
People just think that you're.
People way rather struggle with.
People just think.
People way rather struggle with a little hair loss than like actually like their general health. Like
this is my chubby friend. He's a little lesser than me.
I bet. No, I bet you're right. So, hypotheticals, again, all relative to the size of your steeple, all subjective. So many factors involved in those things. My answers come from a superficial place because it's an easier life. It just is. Think of how difficult, I'll wrap it up by saying this. Think of how difficult life is already. Mm-hmm. Now imagine you're overweight or like obese or like noticeably unattractive. Add that to the mix. How does that make anything better?
Life is much easier for an attractive woman than it is for an unattractive woman.
Well, then
more so than a guy.
That's how
we're
that's
guys.
How I see it, and
we're guys asking this question.
And then the real answer is, well, I don't know, how tight are the screws and how good are they wired? Because you could be the most attractive person and be a mental case, and you don't even see it, right?
That is true.
And you live a miserable life because you can't even see the sun shining on you. So, it all depends on who that person is. But if you're asking me in the most simplest form of what I would take the easier route, which is being an attractive, universally attractive person with an average lifespan, and then do your best to kill it in that time.
Makes sense.
All right. So
did you just check out? Because now you're looking at your phone.
Yeah, he asked the question.
No, I was listening.
You checked out.
But you're doing that thing where you just like pick up your phone, you look down.
Oh, and I looked at something real quick. It's fine.
I hope I answered
you got two
that
hands.
properly.
That's not a quick look. 2 hands is not a quick look.
I mean, you ask me, to wrap it up, is there a part of you would take a guaranteed longer life to be an ugly fella?
It was just a hypothetical.
No, I'm asking,
we can move on.
Me.
You don't like hypotheticals. We don't need to have hypotheticals. No.
You always love to ask questions, but you don't answer them. I'm asking you.
All right, if I told you right now you would lose all your hair today, this is...
Don't ask me. I'm asking you. Stop asking me. I'm asking you now.
Now, at this stage of my life, vanity would take a backseat to living. Different parts of your life, the answer might be different. I was going to say right now...
It's easy for a handsome guy to say. Fuck that. He's just saying he lived a handsome life.
Right now, for you...
Your answer
right
stinks.
now, for you, you love your hair so much. If I said tomorrow, Steve Covino goes bald tomorrow, and you live to 95, but you keep that hair your whole life, you live to 82. 82 or 95. 82 with that hair.
I'll take the 82.
Over 95 bald.
Yeah.
So 13 years you'd live...
I wish the two of you, I could have the two of you have spent a day as me in the late 2000s.
Spot, in the nicest way, you've come a real long way, man. I saw a picture from Mother's Day that your sister posted. And
that was my brother's wedding.
Your brother's wedding?
That was
my God, Spot.
That was 2 to 3 weeks before I had my surgery.
Yeah, man.
I almost died at that wedding.
I can't believe.
Good thing you didn't do the Macarena too hard.
The difference you've made.
Do you know that like I had to stop dancing at certain points because of my chest?
But Spo, I always knew you were a handsome guy, man. I did.
Well, thank you.
You weren't.
It was under there.
Yeah, it was there.
So, I mean,
but I didn't see.
I just wish I captured that a little bit before age took over.
Yeah.
Because if I had dropped the weight before, like, you know.
But maybe you would have thought you were too good for your wife or something. Maybe it would have took you down a wrong path.
He said that to me the other day. He thinks he's too good for his wife.
Yeah, see what I mean?
She's beautiful.
She's beautiful, but maybe you're like
thick thighs and a fat ass.
I don't know, like you're a different guy now, so maybe you would have thought you were too good for her in those days. I'm not saying you are. I'm saying maybe you would have thought that incorrectly.
I agree with Kyle. It's better to be an ugly dude than an ugly woman. It is very tough for an unattractive woman.
I agree with that.
So even being a guy with these shallow conversations, these shallow Hal talks are pale in comparison to what women go through as far as expectations.
Easily. Men have character, right? Women get weathered. Like, oh, look at this guy. Oh, he's distinguished. Oh. He's got a schnozzle like this. Oh, distinguished guy. Oh, gentleman. I'm looking at Adrian Brody. I'm like, look at this guy. He's the man, this guy. He looks like Ichabod Crane in real life, but I'm like, he's the man. And a woman with a schnoz like that, man, we throw her to the wolves.
I was thinking Pat Riley must be thinking like, I would have casted someone more handsome.
No, he's great. I'm convinced he's Pat Riley.
Yeah,
now.
but I'm convinced that Pat
Adrian
Riley.
Brody's the G.
I'm convinced though that Pat Riley's like, I'm hotter than that. I'm
So
convinced
good.
that Pat Riley is thinking, I am more attractive than Adrian Brody.
So good. Again, I can't imagine how difficult life must be when you have to deal with that type of superficial shit as well.
True dat.
You know? So, hypotheticals on the Covino and Rich show. But again, Rich still didn't answer the question. I want you to know, Rich asks a lot of questions, and I'm doing counterpunching all day. Like, he's throwing questions at me. I'm like, yeah, here's my opinion. Bam, 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 bam. Rich will say, yeah, so blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, and blah, 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 blah. But he doesn't fucking tell you what he thinks about that shit. Then again, he did open up a lot yesterday. And for that, I'm thankful. But again, you didn't answer not one question that you posed.
I would take life
in the
over,
past
I would
45
take
minutes.
life over all the vanity stuff now, but I don't know if I would have. Yeah, you're right. It's a tough question. Hard to answer. Agreed.
So speaking of life, speaking of melody, dad life, I have a quick tip, a fun thing that I do. I'm sure I'm not the only guy, but it works for me. You have to find your moments to bond, right? And the one thing that me and my kid could bond over is music. The one thing where she's like, yeah, Dad's pretty cool. He knows his shit. And I like that music, so this is cool. And then she'll share some of her stuff with me. Like, oh, okay, I dig it. And then I'm trying to listen into the lyrics, like what they're really about. I'm like, what kind of shit is that? And yesterday, what I do on every drive home, like when I drive her back to her mom's house, I'm like, all right, today's selection is, are you ready?
Oh, that's cool. It's a fun little dad game to play.
Like a history lesson. Melody.
What are you trying to be, Sammy J on the History Channel?
I haven't seen him. Have you?
Someone hit me up yesterday. I think it was one of our buddies hit us up with a still image of Sammy J, our old producer before Spot. He's killing it on the History Channel.
Yeah, I told you that. Happy for him. Living his dream.
Hey, Spot, I'm going to send it to the CNR text if people want to see what our first producer, Sammy J, is up to. Apparently, he's a talking head on a lot of History Channel shows now. He's a professor.
Yeah, whoever hit you up with that doesn't listen to the show. We talked about it.
I know.
We played the clip and everything.
All right, you played the clip. It wasn't a one-time thing. He's on other things now. This is, I guess, an update. I don't know if you saw him doing this, but hey, Sammy J, good for him. You could continue. What's the matter?
I'll wait. I don't want to, continue on with Green Day and then back to Sammy again.
There he is. Sammy J.
Is he really listed as a historian?
He's a historian.
It's a pretty dope title. I gotta be honest. Kind of jealous. Historian.
I mean, I identify as a historian as of today.
But he actually
Historian.
is a history teacher and knows his stuff. So yes, he is a historian. That's not a fake title.
You're a 90s and 2000s rock historian.
Yeah, we can identify. It's 2022, man.
You're the ambassador You're the ambassador of divorced dad rock.
Can identify as anything you want. Anything you want. Whatever you want. Whatever you want. Aren't you trans-Mexican?
I am.
Well, see?
I may be white on the outside.
I identify as wealthy and handsome.
Yeah, I identify as skinny and ripped. Thank you.
How's your ball labs today?
I'm not feeling I'm feeling all right today. Went to the gym though yesterday. I did the
What'd you work on yesterday?
The Vato workout. I worked on my What's Up Fools. What's up, fool? What's up, fool? What's up, fool?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good one.
I did 15 What's Up Fools. 3 sets of them.
Nice.
Getting ready for our next appearance on Felipe Esparza's podcast. Training.
What's up, fool? What's up, fool? What's up, fool? What's up, fool?
I did that yesterday.
You've seen that clip, right? I mean, everybody sends it to me a million times. I posted it. There's a viral clip of some Mexican dude doing "What's up, fools?" You've seen it?
I've seen What's Up, Fool.
Oh,
Yeah, I've
okay.
seen this.
What resistance bands? What's up, fool?
Great. Now I can never do flies again without thinking that.
Creeper's my fitness instructor. I don't know if people know that. Creeper's my favorite. Anyway, yeah, I do Cholo Fit, Rolando. I love Cholo Fit.
What's happening?
So I'm trying to get back there.
Can we restart?
Yeah, I want to. I don't know how Sammy J fucking had anything to do with my story, but I digest. So I try to play this little game, and I'm like, hey, let's go back in history like Sammy J.
How did we get to Sammy J?
Because I said I'm going to give you a history lesson to my kid. She's like, all right, Dad, what's it going to be?
Are you a historian? Because
I
Sammy
am.
J is.
So what? I mean, I'm happy for him, but I am very happy for Sammy. I actually reached out to him and said, hey, man, awesome. I'm happy for you. So, which, by the way, I feel like that deserves a Barry Horowitz pat on the back, because has Sammy J ever reached out to Rich Davis or Steve Covino and say, hey, guys, continued success, man. Really proud of what you guys have done? No, but I love the guy deep down.
Well, we sort of replaced him with Spot, so.
No, he had every opportunity to roll with us. And still, as a friend, he could be like, yo, man, saw you on ESPN. That's cool, man. Congrats to you. I never got any phone call like that from anybody, really, now that I think about it. Maybe like 1 or 2 people. But, Melody, let's go back in time. What do you want to listen to?
Are you giving a history lesson?
Yeah, and what I do, and I'll keep it simple, is I'll pick an album that was impactful to me or one that I haven't heard in a minute, and I'll say, take a listen. What do you think? Melody, you know Green Day? Of course I know Green Day, Dad. Have you ever heard Dookie? Let me tell you about Dookie, Melody. I know this is a crazy thought, but you got to think, I was a dumb college kid. I was like barely 17, 18. Seeing Green Day at the time for me live, I remember thinking, this is the closest I'm going to get to the Beatles. That's how hyped up they were to me at that time.
Yeah.
That's how big they felt and seemed to me at that time.
I think in our childhood, it's hard to pinpoint an album that I feel like every single person had. I feel like every person you knew had Dookie.
I put on Dookie yesterday. I don't know you, but I think I hate you. You're the reason for my misery. And I'm like, oh my God, this is so good. And I sang every lyric from track 1 to like When I Come Around by the time I got her home. 10 tracks.
What's your favorite?
I have different levels. They came out swinging with Longview, right? That song just was like, wow.
Like Basket Case
Basket
and
Case
She.
was the biggest song.
Basket Case and She might be my favorite
She
one.
was my personal favorite, but When I Come Around is fantastic.
When I Come Around.
Right?
Yeah, they're all
So,
good.
All on the same album. I didn't even mention Welcome to Paradise or Chump or Burnout. I don't care no more. Right? Takes me back to college and like, man, these guys were awesome.
How many tracks?
I got to 10 When I Come Around.
But there
I think
are
there's,
15.
12.
15.
12? 15, there's a hidden track too. I was alone. I was all by myself. So what I do is I pick one album for the ride home Maybe it's when you pick your kid up from school and back, whatever it is. But you throw like a few songs on, be like, take a listen. What do you think? Have influence. And I try. That's all you can do as a parent is try. And I think Melody was like, yeah, you know, I didn't realize that this was the album. In her mind, she thought American Idiot was the biggest one. I'm like, no, fuck that. Yeah,
American Idiot, as I say way too many times on Pop 2K, for most bands, American Idiot would be their best album. But Green Day's Dookie was so good that
so huge.
Yeah, it's you know,
it's funny.
They had two big albums, and it's hard to believe that American Idiot wasn't the biggest one because it wasn't.
They had a bunch of big albums, but American Idiot was huge. It's interesting too, and I've said this before, but I'll say it again. From a kid's perspective, regardless of when that album came out, it just sounds like Green Day to them. Because after When I Come Around, I put on Don't Want to Be an American Idiot. And it could easily be on that album. You know what I mean? It's like there's no different sound, no difference other than sound quality maybe. Because Dookie kind of lacks in sound quality a little bit when you listen to it from today's ears. But anyway, just a little dad tip, little something I do, and I feel like it's a cool way to connect, and you're like really exposing your kid. How many kids in my daughter's class, honestly, could say that, oh, that legendary album, they heard it. My kid can. You know, so like I did it recently with In Utero, and I had a hot take. I said In Utero from Nirvana is equally as good as Nevermind, if not better. Not as impactful as Nevermind, but equally as good or better than Nevermind. And I listened to the whole thing again recently with Melody, and I'm listening through her ears, through my ears. I'm telling her the story like, oh, this was Dad's jam, you know, and she gets fired up about it. So something I do. That being said, I move on to my story from this weekend. My kid's growing up. I hate it, but I embrace it. I try not to make her feel weird about it. Like I always felt weird about growing up. So weird, my mom bought me those books. Remember I told you? Ready, Set, Grow books.
I don't remember this.
We talked about it on the show. You guys laughed at me about it.
Ready, Set, Grow?
I felt so weird because my mom put such a guilt trip on me, like, to stay her baby boy forever. And I'm like, oh, promise me you'll never grow up. Never. I won't, Mama. I won't, Mama. Stay here as long as you can. Okay, Mom. So growing up for me was like fucking an embarrassment. Like, oh, man, this sucks. I'm going to let everybody down.
Like, puberty
was growing up.
You can get the full 24-volume set for $300 on Amazon.
And my mom tried. She just loved her little Boise. She didn't want to, see me grow up. I get it. As a parent, I get it. But I try not to like make my kid feel weird about it. Honestly, she feels a little too comfortable, I think.
All these books, right?
Yeah, I had them all. Read them all.
Keeping Your Body Alive and Well.
Loved them. They were great. I had the whole collection.
What's that, making up your what?
They even talked to you about like don't feel shame when you're dropping a deuce. I remember thinking that was a great chapter.
Don't feel duty shame?
Yeah, don't
it's a
feel.
Good one.
I remember as a kid being like, you know what?
I don't feel duty shame. Thanks.
I'm good with this.
You know what book you need?
Where the Wild Things Are?
No, Handling Your Ups and Downs.
I got to read that one again. I still got it. It's in my parents' attic somewhere.
A child's book about emotions.
Yeah, I might have to read that one again. I don't think I read that one. Maybe that's the issue.
Maybe that's the problem.
It's interesting because the one about taking the duty, I'm good with.
But the one about controlling your emotions? No.
So anyway, my kid's growing up.
Handle your ups and downs.
And like I said, I think where I felt a little bit of an embarrassment or shame or like guilt is the word. Guilt about it. I feel like my kid's the exact opposite almost. Like, yeah, all right, I'm done with that. Can I grow up now? Cool.
Handle your ups and downs. Checking them out and sizing them up. You need that. Saying what you mean. Mine and yours. The nitty gritty of family life. You're all right. You're one of a kind.
Yeah, I remember
that. A consumer's guide to managing money. Oh, you need that one. Using your head. Tough stuff.
Yeah, you know what? I probably
surviving fights.
I want to give these another read. I probably should reinvestigate. You know what it is? I only read a few of them.
Making up your own mind. Yeah. Oh, you need that one. Danger, a kid's TV guide. I don't know what that is. And then a kid's guide to understanding parents. You need that too.
Yeah, I'm going to have to reinvestigate these.
Honestly.
Someone needs
I think they can help me again.
Someone needs these books again.
See, so my mom tried. Like, she gave me all the tools, like you said, Spot, right?
Right.
You got to give the kid the tools.
All you can ask for.
She's like, here, Steven, here's these books. And like, okay.
Okay, Mom.
I don't like to read, but okay,
this
Mom.
one seems lame. I hate this photo.
Yeah, the one that
this title that makes no sense.
the one that intrigued me is the picture of the kid on the toilet bowl. I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, right.
I like that
By
one.
the way, what's checking him out and sizing him up?
Oh no.
How, what is
Ass
that?
cheeks.
What is that book?
Story on ass.
Checking him out and sizing him up?
Ready, set, grow. Checking.
I read that in the early 2000s.
Who cares? So my point is, kids growing up, and I told Spot, I felt it coming. I knew it was going to happen. But I said it here on the show, Spot, you got to take down our Ticklesack songs or passcode because it's only a matter of time before my kids' friends find them and they start giving her a hard time where none should be had.
By the way, it's a children's book about opinions and prejudice.
Oh, checking him out and sizing him up.
People wonder why. See, Madison said I'm a good guy and why I'm so well-rounded.
You will this
Maybe
stuff.
it's these books.
You will this stuff into the universe, though. You willed this to happen.
Yo, dude, I felt it because what happened, the backstory was my daughter's friends. Remember, she was on that borderline cusp of 6th grade, 7th grade. So she has a lot of 7th grade friends too. Right? So they're a little more advanced than her.
It's like 12, 13.
Yeah, she's 12. Some of her friends are 13. Long story short, I'm sure along the way, she's like, yeah, my dad's on the radio. Kids are probably intrigued by that. They start Googling shit. And
hey, at least
they find pictures of me and Melody on Twitter and shit like that.
Yeah.
And then they start teasing her about it. Because I'm talking about my daughter at that time, especially like she's a little kid. Like, oh, me and my Melody, and oh, she's the best. Love me and her daddy, blah, blah, blah. And they're like, look at Melody with her dad. And then it makes her feel bad where she should say, guys, fuck off and beat it and stop being a creep Googling my dad. Even though she gave him probably the ammo to look for it.
Yeah, but I think more so, like, what's to make fun of? When you think about what kids make fun of, like, it's a weird thing to make fun of. Because
you and your dad. Because you
have a stable relationship with your father.
Yeah,
well,
but you can't be surprised by that. Kids are fucking nerds. They're lame, and they do things like that, right? So
your dad loves you. What a weak situation.
But a lot of it was how I talk about her because kids feel like they're older than they are, right?
Yeah.
But if I'm referring to her as like my baby girl, blah, 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 it sounds like little baby bullshit to these kids that are trying to be teenagers.
Did they see,
right? So it's embarrassing.
Did they see this photo when they did Google search?
So anyway, Melody called me up one day like, Dad, you got to take those pictures down. They're ruining my life. And I'm like, what pictures? You chill out. You don't tell Dad what to do, all right? But then I realized, like,
you told me
it's embarrassing to her or whatever. I'll take a few of them down, whatever. So I did.
Dad, why do you point in every photo with every celebrity?
Yeah.
You're just a
Like, Dad,
lame-o.
why would you post that of me? I look terrible in that photo, and my friends are making fun of me. Boo, boo, boo. Right? So I'm like, damn, this is going to be an issue. And man, and I did things in my mind in the sense of comedy or entertainment and as a loving parent in these scenarios.
Yeah, you told me that your issue was more of, I remember when Melody first hit you up with this.
Yeah, we were on a business trip.
And you were more about,
this was like, I don't know, 6 months ago.
Yeah, like Melody asked Dad kindly. Like she was shooting
me.
She was shooting out demands, and I was like, yeah, she's an emotional preteen.
Right.
Like Dad, take it down now. And you're like,
yeah,
not when you ask like that.
Yeah. So I made it more of a thing. If she would have asked nicely, if she would have came to me, you're right. I made it more of a big deal because I'm like, I'm hearing like voices from my past.
Of course, she sounds like
yeah. So anyway, if she would have said, Dad, my friends are starting to find these pictures of me when I was little, and you said, can you please just like archive them or take them down or something, like, I would have been like, sure, honey, because why would I want to bring any strife to her life?
Right.
Yeah, of course.
But I would have said, hey, be proud. I would have said all those things first, but then I would have took them down.
I have a question. Was it your social media?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because sometimes if they're like just searching the internet, there's photos out there that you don't have control over.
Yeah, those too, right? So anyway, I do have control of some, so sure. But I knew that, all right, if these kids are Googling me and yeah, maybe her mom, geez.
Like, your ex did a blog for People about her child, so I'm sure there's just a ton of photos of her out there.
Look, Melody has to get used to it and understand what her parents do and the world they work in anyway. I get all that. But if taking one photo down is going to make her feel better about things. And I mean, I'm her dad. I'm not going to make it harder. I just didn't like how she was coming at me.
Right.
But
you do need to prepare her. I know you do. I know you do.
Yeah.
But I'm saying there are photos out there of her because both her parents are public figures.
Yeah. And again, that's the world she grew up in. She grew up in TV studios, radio studios, her dad voice tracking all day, telling fart jokes. Like, she knows what her parents do and who they are.
Of course.
So because that happened, you and I were hosting an event for SiriusXM. She bothered me like first thing in the morning. Take him down, Dad. I'm like, oh man, it's a matter of time before these kids start to investigate and find the songs we made along the way.
Covino said, it's Ticklesack's only a matter of time. And I said, yeah, probably.
And it's not that I don't embrace the past and the things that we did, but from a kid's perspective, from an employer, a possible employer's perspective, from the 2022 perspective, a lot of the stuff we were singing about, a lot of the voices we were doing and the ways we sang these songs, they're just dated. And again, I was a 20-something-year-old guy singing about Rich eating ass. I'm a 45-year-old dad now who still thinks Rich eating ass is funny, but not what I want to be leading with, especially when it comes to my kid. So, I got to read you this conversation. It's so funny, dude. I'm sleeping the other night, and my daughter hits me up, but I don't see it until the morning. I wake up at like 6 a.m., and I read this, and I'm like, what? I'm like, what? And dude, I so badly wanted to sleep like another 3 hours or so.
Yeah.
But after I read this, I couldn't. So I got up and went to the gym, get my swole on. But I was like, so like, oh man, I was like sort of mortified as a parent. So my daughter sends me a conversation, a screenshot conversation that she's having with a friend of hers.
Okay.
Who's a boy.
Okay.
I mean, I think he is. His name is Ronan.
Vanth.
Ronan. Is it boy or girl?
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know if he knows.
Yeah.
She knows.
I'm not sure they've decided yet. So I don't want to. Anyway, long story short.
It's Vanth.
She's talking to a boy. And the boy hits her up. And I'm going to read it word for word. This is how kids talk today.
Okay.
All right? This is hilarious.
All right.
But there's a part of me as a dad that finds everything about this awkward and inappropriate. And a lot of the inappropriate is due to me being inappropriate. Quote unquote inappropriate.
Yeah, let's not forget how 12-year-olds interact.
So this is how 12-year-olds, 13-year-olds interact. Kid hits up my daughter. By the way, it's late at night. It's like a Friday night, Saturday night or something. He goes, ass eater is so fire. Then he goes, dead ass. And now, as a dad, I'm like, I don't even like you talking to my daughter like this. I'm going to smack you. But then again, I'm the guy who made the song.
Is it a guy?
What?
It's a guy, right?
Yeah.
Or boy?
It's a boy.
Is it a cisgender boy?
Vanth.
No, it's just a regular boy. Cisgender boy, yes.
I mean,
Cisgender
boy.
Regular boy.
For people that don't know, cisgender means
They're
old school
boy?
regular straight,
Yes.
right?
That
A boy,
identifies as a boy.
a straight boy.
Yeah.
Hey, I'll be honest, and I'm not trying to be naive. Sometimes, even when I see certain words, I have to remind myself, like, cis, that means straight, right? Like, okay, so
It's a
what does cis
I mean,
mean?
I know. I mean, I think. I don't. What the fuck do I know, dude?
When someone goes, they're a cis male,
That means that they're a boy that identifies as a boy, or a girl that identifies as a girl. Unfortunately, or just
like being like a cis white male, it's almost like a dirty thing now. Go on.
ass eater is so fire.
It stands for cissexual. Cis is Latin for meaning on this side of, which is the opposite of trans. So cis is the opposite of trans.
We'll explain all that. There's
Okay.
a new clip about the birds and the bees. We'll play.
Oh, yeah, I
right
got to play
after
that for
this.
you later.
Right after this, we'll play it.
Oh, in Rich's garden?
There's birds, bees in my garden. I'll send you the clip now so you have it on standby spot.
Please do.
Melody, ass eater's so fire.
Ass eater is fire. The
Dead
kid might just have good taste
Dead
too.
ass.
Think about that. The kid might.
Bro, the way my daughter responds, it's like, who is this kid?
The harmonies in that are fantastic.
Now, if you're new to the show, like the Tanyas of the world, Ass Eater is a classic song that I made when I was about like 28 years old.
Am I allowed to play it?
Sure. It's about Rich. He eats ass. And I thought that was funny. Still funny.
I mean,
but I'm a different man.
I wasn't, and the funny part is I wasn't going around eating ass.
Right,
It's a funny parody,
Let's
but at
play
the
the
time,
song.
like, yeah, I mean,
let's play the song.
Yeah.
And so it makes the conversation more understandable.
Yeah, there you go.
Because we haven't played it in a minute.
Ass eater.
Basically, I wish I had a spoon just so I could
Man
eat that
eater.
ace.
Man
You know what I mean? Yeah. Ass everywhere. I'm telling you, ass soup.
Soup.
He only comes out at night. You know that his jeans are tight. When he has a few drinks, then he starts to lose control. Scoping the nussies.
Scoping the nussies.
Got a spoon in his hand and he's hungry for that hole.
Uranus.
Oh, here he comes. Here I come, girl. Watch out, girls. He'll motorboat. Oh, here he comes. Here I come. He's an ass eater. Oh, here he comes. I'm coming. Watch out, girls. He'll motorboat. Oh, here he comes.
Right.
He's an ass eater. Remix. Woo! Ticklesack. He's an ass eater. First he stares hard, then he gets hard, then he wants to eat that ass. He's an ass eater. First he stares hard, then he gets hard, then he wants to eat that ass.
Ass eater. Ticklesack debuts
Wait,
album.
did I hear historian Sammy Jarouche in that song?
Yes, he dropped a remix, which was actually Behind the Velvet Rope was a soundbite from another song that we did.
Is that on his bio?
Probably not.
Former member of Ticklesack?
Yeah. What was the remix soundbite
There's a
actually a
man-
clip from?
Oh,
It was another song. We did another song with Sammy J.
All I know
where
is
he
that
he threw out a remix.
yeah,
and we just
I had to,
incorporated
I
it.
used it because I needed the remix sound.
he was still part of our world though at that time.
Yeah, it's terribly dated and funny, but still funny from the 2000s. We're talking about a parody when.
So are my dreams of doing the remastered album not going to happen?
Of course they are.
I think it's funny. I think
Because
it's funny as
still,
hell.
I still have like all these original tracks of you guys recording, and I wanted to give them to Handsome Gabe. Be like, hey Gabe, take these in a studio and like tweak them and
can't
put some
wait.
effects on them,
No,
and make them
of course.
sound great.
We're
and-
behind a paywall now, so of course we could do whatever we want in our own
Like,
world,
there's-
which is called Covino and Rich on Patreon.
Like, you know how you would record a song like the same line like 20 times,
Yeah.
and you would rely on me to choose the best line, and I think I did.
Are you talking? You want us to do what Taylor Swift did, like Taylor's version?
No.
like just new
not
versions.
re-record, not re-record. Use the original tracks from the day and just remaster the song.
Well,
Like that's what they do when they remaster old albums. They usually have like master recordings or sometimes old tracks or things that were never used, and they'll piece them together and make a brand new album. I think we'll do that.
And by the way, some of my songs, our songs, are vile. So you have to realize, as a parent, I'm like,
they're equal.
oh God, and politically incorrect.
They're
see.
sexist as
dude,
fuck.
They're equal parts.
What could be
2, 3, 4.
Look at this bitch's ass.
press it up against the glass?
Yeah, we know. It's on the first album.
Yeah, or,
So equal parts cringe, equal parts funny, equal part. I mean,
Dated, bro.
Dated?
but like again, it was all
Still
in the
funny,
sense of
yeah.
entertainment and comedy and coming from a fun place. But again, this is my kid. I don't need my kid to know that her dad sang "My Schween is Long." You know, like
oh, that was a recent one.
yeah, like I don't need that.
Man, that's a good one.
And again, am I to blame? Yeah, but it's also what I do for a living, and I'm trying to balance that out the right way. So this kid,
How about my
with
penis?
nothing else to do, is Googling her fucking dad.
I mean, nothing else to do. That's what people do. Don't make it sound like you.
Why would a 12-year-old be Googling my kid and me unless he was in, I don't know, whatever.
You're really
She
you're
probably
like
said-
you're just getting defensive. It's completely normal.
It's not normal for a 12-year-old to Google my
Somebody
daughter
else's
unless she's
parents.
talking about her dad doing a radio show.
All right, if I met
So
someone,
it's kind of like, hey, well,
if
stop
you met
telling your
someone,
friends that.
if you met someone and they're like, oh, my dad does a very popular radio show and a podcast,
Which,
and
if she doesn't
and
want this, she shouldn't be saying that.
Yeah, but I'm saying if this kid Googles it,
I Google people.
Can't blame- you
I
can't-
Google people in my real life all the time.
you can't blame this kid. The kid's doing normal behavior. Like this kid has all this spare time. Or
I mean,
he
no.
finds out his classmate's dad is sort of popular, and he looks it up.
Those songs are not easy to find, so you have to go above and beyond to be a little creepy boy.
I mean,
yes.
Search.
Bro, those songs. You Rich fucking is a former member of Ticklesack, doesn't know where to find them.
Rich doesn't know we have a website.
Exactly.
We have a website?
Yeah.
So Rich is a bad example.
So
Rich doesn't know. Rich doesn't even know.
There was a drop down menu. If you go to CovinoandRich.com, it said music. There's a drop down, then Ticklesack, then a drop down. And like, they were there, but it wasn't the easiest to find. You had to really be into it and on a mission.
Nothing weird about this kid who's probably
he likes my daughter.
He likes Melody, and he was just doing what he was fucking Googling shit.
This is his form of hair pulling.
Come on.
Yeah, agreed.
All right, so Ass Eater's fire.
Ass Eater's so fire. Dead ass.
Dead ass. It is.
And my daughter.
No, is it cap or no cap? I always forget.
No cap.
No cap.
I always get that wrong.
Like no bullshit.
Like cap. Yeah.
Why aren't you?
What do you mean no cap?
No, it's an expression, Fred.
Fred Durst doesn't get it.
He hates that phrase.
It's just so stupid. All right, so
no cap.
Then, and again, they're speaking in all caps. Coincidentally, all caps actually. See, when I hear my daughter talking to these kids, it's like, "Who are you?" She goes, "I've never actually listened to the shit my dad makes." Now, as a dad, I'm like, "Why are you cursing like that?" Dad doesn't like it.
What do you mean?
She said shit. She's 12. I don't like it.
Yeah.
But again, she's like, I'm not saying it, Dad. I'm like, yeah, but I don't like it. So as a dad, I'm already not liking this conversation. You don't, dude. You're gonna what? You're a sailor, bro. So you don't want your kids saying obscenities and curse words. You don't want them to, regardless of whether or not you're the guy who sang Ass Eater.
I hear Emmy's dropping F-bombs.
That's funny as hell.
It's not funny. You're a parent.
It's funny because you think 12 and 13-year-olds don't curse when they talk. When you were 12, you think that,
no,
oh
man,
my
I wasn't
God.
a little piece of shit. I'm sorry, I wasn't.
Emmy's like, fuck this swing set.
Yeah, Rich isn't be like, oh, yeah, that's a good one, Emmy. Talking about.
She's 5. Your daughter's going to be 13.
Yes.
You think 13-year-olds don't say shit
I'm
to their
relating
friends?
to our listeners. No, I didn't really curse that much, but kids communicate in a different way now. So they're always typing shit. So yeah, that's very normal. But as a dad, I don't like seeing it.
Yeah,
you think as a dad, I'm supposed to like appreciate that?
I'm sure you said you would say this stuff with your friends.
Weird guy, man.
We didn't have text of it.
Right.
Now you have text
But
of it.
I wouldn't say I was like, I'm sure I did, but I wasn't like a dirty mouth little boy.
It's the equivalent of you being in your parents being in the other room and you were pulled the phone cord up into your bed.
Ass Eater's so fire, dead ass.
I mean, it is.
I've actually never listened to the shit my dad makes.
Holy shit!
It's too scary for me.
No, it's so good.
I'm physically incapable. No, it's not.
That's what my daughter's saying. It's remixes of other songs, Melody. You gotta listen.
Remixes, I like that.
Oh, this kid's maybe this kid's like the next star. Maybe
he'll take our songs and make them TikTok famous.
Melody goes,
I've never even heard it, and I already know it's mid.
and now I got mad again. I'm like, wait, hold on. What do you mean your dad? What do you mean dad's stuff is mid?
Covino's like, what does mid?
Urban Dictionary.
Mid. Like I know, like mediocre. Like mid-level, I'm guessing.
Mid-level. Like, yeah, it's not quality stuff. I don't care. It's my dad.
Used as an insult to degrade an opposing opinion, labeling it as average or poor quality.
Average. Mid. It's mid. How could you not figure
So
that
right now,
out?
hold on. At this point, who are you more? What are you? Mad? Are you mad at Melody?
I'm mad at Melody.
I'm mad that she said her dad's stuff is mid. She downplayed her dad's stuff. So I'm like, what do you mean mid?
We waited. Insult to
Ass Eater is fire.
This kid's right.
Now I'm torn. I'm like,
What's the kid's name again? What, Ronson?
We waited.
Rowan.
Rowan. Yo, this kid Rowan is onto something, Melody.
Here, use it in a sentence. We waited on that album for 6 months, and it was mid. Man, that hurts.
Yo, she said
I'm offended by
Melody
that.
said Ticklesack is mid.
She's trying to downplay it. Like, yo, listen.
Next time I see her,
I want you to be into me, not into my dad's stupid songs.
I say, yo, I hear you think Ticklesack was mid. I'm gonna say that to her. Like, I produced that shit.
Melody, it's remixes of other songs. I've never even heard it, and I already know it's mid.
She got some nerve.
And then he goes, Ass Eater is a parody of Man Eater. So I give him credit for knowing Man Eater.
This guy, I'm starting to think this kid's well versed.
But I don't like him.
He's 13.
Talking to my daughter about eating ass. Meanwhile, I'm also the guy that sang the song. So, I'm conflicted. I don't like it, but I knew the day was coming. Now, I'm sure this kid sent it to all his friends. Like, dude, ass eater, hilarious. Ticklesack.
I agree with Preston. Your daughter roasted you.
No, she doesn't care. It's like you use the same example all the time. Richie Sambora's daughter was like, yeah, my dad's kind of a nerd. Didn't she say that to you when you interviewed her? Like, she's like, yeah, I'm not into Bon Jovi.
I didn't interview a 9-year-old, but
Ticklesack is mid. It is.
But
but no.
I did. One of the bosses was like, hey, can you and Nicole from Hits One show around, show Richie Sambora and Heather Locklear's kids the studio. Like they were visiting, Greenstein and the bosses at SXM. And I remember Sambora's and Locklear's kid was like, yeah, my parents are sort of lame. And I'm thinking, and that was when it dawned on me that no matter who you are, there's going to be times where your parents,
so she's just trying to downplay it. Like, hey, and Melody also knows, like, this is weird. I don't want these kids now sharing all these songs amongst my friends. Like, it's embarrassing to her. So I understand that. Then these kids are so bold and their perspective is so off. Multiple kids, all these little kids started tweeting at Covino and Rich saying how fire these songs are. I was like, oh no, this is a nightmare. I blocked them all because I'm an adult and this is adult content, and I don't want parents to know that I'm contributing to the.
Her friend,
and I know
her friend seems like he's got a good sense of humor.
Doesn't matter, bro. I'm Melly's father, you idiot. I'm not their pal, so I'm not here to I didn't write Ass Eater for my kids' friends. I wrote it for you guys. So multiple kids start hitting us up on Twitter like, Ticklesack rules. Ticklesack's the best.
You don't think
Ass Eater's fire. What do I want to hear? What do I want to hear next? Yo, Melody, butt crack sex is the jam. I don't need that.
You don't think little Jenny Sins' friends have seen her father's work?
Bro, I don't care about other people. This
Jenny
is how
Sins.
I want things to go. So, long story short, I didn't bring up Sammy J and all the other things. So anyway, to wrap it up, I knew the day was coming. I had already asked Spot to do this, and he fucking blew me off, and I'm not blaming you. Yeah, you did.
I didn't blow you off.
And it's not just about my kid. It's about all it takes is one person.
You didn't explicitly ask me. You said maybe we should.
All it takes is one person, a potential employer, to hear me talking about butt crack sex, singing in the voice of a black man, or Take It and Go, a parody that I did on the perspective of an Indian person, or some sexist shit about blowing loads. All it takes is one potential employer to hear these songs and say, yeah, I don't know if these are the right guys for the job. So we never took them down because I'm proud of them.
Agreed to take them down. Okay?
Well, dude, do you think I'm saying these things for fun?
I just don't want people to think that I blew you off like that.
Well,
if you had said take them down or
and if anything,
I would have done it.
If anything, then this was a reminder. Rowan reminded me that not only do I not want my kid or her friends to hear me singing Jazz Cafe, but
we could be huge
I don't
on
want
TikTok.
potential employers because guess what? It's not making us any money. It's not that we're gaining any revenue from it. If anything, we could be losing a great opportunity because of it. So it's counterproductive to where we want to go. So what we did, long story short, is we didn't take them down, but we made them passcoded. So if you're a tier 1 plus or a tier 2 plus subscriber, in your email, in your notifications,
I'll send out a post.
You're going to get a password that you could use if you ever want to access these songs from our website. So now if you go to CovinoandRich.com, music, Ticklesack, it's like, oh, well, enter the passcode. Bam.
New England clam chowder.
Yeah, you'll have a passcode to access the songs, but it's behind a paywall. So I'm okay with that. I'm okay with those songs living on a subscription-based level for you.
I
but
agree.
As a parent and as someone who's trying to take his career next level, as funny as I'm wearing a Yank D's shirt right now. As funny as I still think that stuff is, and as immature as I still am, I don't need my kid or her friends knowing that I'm the guy that's saying caboose.
What's to keep your daughter's friends from plopping down a few bucks to get our subscription?
Then that's on them. They went out of their way to pay for it.
All right,
you know what I mean? Like, you're off the hook at that point. Like,
new subscriber, Rowan. $10. Oh, he's tier 2 too.
Oh,
yeah, but honestly,
he's got to go for the plus.
His parents must have money.
But he's got to go for the plus.
That's the beauty of being behind a paywall and a Patreon. Do what you want because no one could say shit because it's not like you were throwing it out there publicly. someone paid for
Honestly,
that shit. So you're
I agree.
They paid for that content.
I agree 100%.
I think the worst
was Dope Melody saying mid. Yeah.
But the worst yet greatest thing could be if we went TikTok viral with all our fucking old Ticklesack songs. I think that could be the worst yet greatest thing ever. I almost want to create a Ticklesack.
Agreed. A new.
I almost want to create a Ticklesack account.
Nope.
Completely independent of Covino and Rich, and just start posting the song
And the side nuggets.
I'll do
to
it
the
with like a
story.
mask on, so no one will know who it is.
Some of the kids felt bad that we blocked them because they really were like, "Yo, this is cool."
Exactly.
Where I'm like, are they
Why would you block them?
Because who this 12-year-old kid is coming to
but why would
their
you
friend's dad
block
talking about
them?
eating ass?
Yeah, but don't block them.
I'm
Just
a
ignore them.
parent, dude.
Look at Gabe.
Blocking a
I
kid.
blocked them
What did
because
Gabe
it's adult
say?
content. I'm
What
not
did Gabe
saying
say?
I'm okay with that.
Look what
I'm
Gabe,
not okay with
read
that.
what Gabe said because it's
Imagine
true.
if Adam Sandler blocked me from listening to his 1993. They're all gonna laugh at you when I was 12. That's okay, man. Again, if they want to go out of their way to find it, so be it. And then on the side note, Melody's like, can you kind of respond to some of them because they really did like your stuff? They think is cool. And I'm like,
Now you're
yeah,
making
whatever.
it-
I'll be nice to them. Don't
Now
worry
you're
about
making
it.
it a worse situation.
Now you're making it worse for Melody because you're shunning the kids.
No, I'm not. Stop trying to fucking turn this like I did something. I did nothing. I'm protecting the kids who are already influenced by 100 million things that are a lot worse than that. But I'm not going to be the guy adding to
I would never respond to the kids, but
That's
I wouldn't
my
have blocked.
point.
Blocking them is sort of like that's proactive, like you're doing
No,
something.
I'm proactively saying this is adult content, kid. Beat it. You're 12. And don't talk to someone's parent. Can you imagine if you were a kid talking to a girl's dad about eating ass? You're a little bold for me, kid. You trying to fuck with me?
No, it's
Like you
it's
guys are like
difficult.
at it off your rockers.
No,
I
it's
would have
Twitter.
never, as a little boy, reached out to a girl that I like's dad to be like, "Yeah, man, that song "Eating Ass" is great, right? Eating ass is funny." Like, no,
but
I'm a
it's
parent.
Twitter.
Respect me.
It's
Chill the fuck
difficult.
out.
It's
Know your
difficult.
role. No fucking be reaching out to me.
Because, like, I understand it's very hard for certain people, like in the entertainment industry, to distinguish between professional
I'm a
lives
parent.
and private lives. Like, there are actors who have children, and these actors are in sometimes R-rated movies. But when they go out in public, they don't want their children to be like filmed or taken photos of, and you have to respect that privacy in private and in the private lives. But when it comes to your public life, it's like you can't control what kids have access to.
yeah.
Yes, you can.
No, you
Yes,
can't.
you can.
No,
Meaning,
you can't.
they could watch all the smut and trash that they want. It doesn't have to be coming from Melody's dad.
I mean, this is your. You just
What is he
haven't-
not getting?
No,
I'm not going to
I
contribute.
agree. I agree with. I agree with
Just
Spot.
so-
I'm slightly playing devil's advocate here, and
No,
I
it's-
agree.
it's-
I
it's
have no
bunk
problem. I have
on
no
all-
hold on. I have
all-
no problem. I have no problem with what
on
we
all
did.
counts.
I have no problem with what we did because it's layered.
Neither
with,
do I.
It's layered with, hey, this could look bad to a future PG
Or these kids and their parents and everything else.
That part, I think that's on them. That's on them.
Yeah,
you cannot control kids from going on the internet to find things, which they do, and they find dark shit. You cannot control them from going to a streaming service and finding things. You can, it's like
I'm not trying to
I
control
watched-
that.
I watched
I'm trying to control our
I
content.
watched the
What don't
first
you understand
episode. I
about
watched
that?
the first episode of Euphoria last night. Right? Have you guys watched it?
Bro,
I've not. But the
you're-
girl in Euphoria's grandparents said that she had the best tits in Hollywood.
Right.
Who is that?
It's a
and that's normal.
What's wrong with that?
It's a young adult show, but I guarantee you there are people 12, 13 watching this stuff. And
Of course, because you can't control or police that.
Exactly.
But I can control my content. And I can control.
No, you can't.
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. To some degree, you can't make it. You don't have to make it so easy for my kid and her friends to fucking be singing butt crack sex.
I heard they voted their class song.
Yeah, I mean,
It's dead.
and that's what I did.
Dead ass.
So
Dead ass.
it's still there, just behind a passcode spot. Thankfully, got it done immediately, and I did appreciate that. So that's the story there, because hey, kids are growing up and they're starting to realize things now. Now, because we're trying to figure out all the things we were talking about or supposed to talk about yesterday, I'm just throwing this out there. Mother's Day should have been a day where there was no booty pics, right? Like just pics of you and your
As long as
mom.
you post a photo of you and your mom first,
Is that the rule?
then you can post your ass.
Okay, because I still saw a lot of women and people promoting things like that wasn't Mother's Day.
And I sort of do think I still find it insulting to moms
Yeah.
when people are like, "I'm a dog mom."
Yeah, fuck that.
Really upsets me more so when I see what moms real moms do.
I love
Like when you see moms that are dealing with kids and sick kids and getting ready for school and doing everything, and especially moms that are working moms and single moms and packing lunch boxes and taking kids to dance practice and little league games and all that, and then someone's like, I'm a mom, and they're holding like their little puppy. I'm like, you're not a mom. You're not a mom. You're not a mom.
Someone took the kid with the forehead vein where he's like struggling.
Yeah,
oh yeah.
Someone took that women on Mother's Day waiting to say that they're dog moms.
No, that's
women
how
with dogs on Mother's Day waiting to say they're dog moms.
That's how all of Melody's friends felt when they realized I passcoded the songs.
Dead ass.
Yeah. Rowanth is like, he's trying so hard.
I agree.
He wants to hear Ass Eater again so bad.
I agree with passcoding it all, but
Right.
the only thing I disagree with,
honestly,
and it's really just a little thing, is I think you don't react to the kids hitting you up on Twitter by blocking them. Then they might be like, Melody, your dad's like mean, and then all of a sudden Melody, like, I just think ignore the kids.
The
I'm not their friend.
They're the maturity level
I'm a
of a
parent.
12 or 13-year-old.
Yeah, they're great.
Do you
It's
block-
right in their
do you-
wheelhouse.
That's why. It's the
Hey man, I'm
maturity
also a
level of a
parent.
13-year-old.
I don't need look. They could watch all the smut they want. It doesn't have to be from Melody's father. The end.
Can it be from?
And it won't be.
Can it be from Melody's father's friend?
No. I mean, sure. I don't care what you do. So there's another story. This is a parental story too, but it has nothing to do with me. It's a good one, Rich. You're gonna like this. All right.
Oh, by the way, you said you wanted to break it up with the Birds and the Beast joke.
Oh yeah. Can you pull it up and I'll take a quick break?
Have they seen you on the boat, by the way?
No, because look, I could be the greatest guy in the world, the most entertaining guy. And I told Melody, here's what you need to know about that show. I said, that's not a comedian, but the radio's sort of
Mom told me.
The radio's sort of my stage.
Yeah,
I'm like a radio comedian.
He's like
it's all out
mid
of
at
fun
best.
and entertainment. Like the radio and the airwaves, that's Dad's stage to do his comedy and make his stupid jokes and to make his stupid songs. And, that's what they expected of us then. And I'm proud of what I did and I love it, but I don't want your friends listening to that. So.
And she understood that, I'm guessing?
No, this was actually a moment where she didn't care. Did I not make that clear? Remember when she asked me to take those pictures down? She cared about that.
She thinks
she thought this was funny because her friends loved it, right? So she never ever came to me with like, Dad, you're embarrassing me.
Oh.
I just did it because like, fuck yeah, she never had an issue with it.
Ticklesack might make her the popular kid.
Yeah, she never had. Let me make that very clear.
Yeah.
Melody never had a problem with me and the songs. But I was a little mortified that her friends were listening to it and then telling her about it. A little line crossing to me.
Yeah, but I mean, like I agree. I'm not playing devil's advocate because listen, when my kids are older, I'm not gonna want them listening to ass eater songs. However, you do work in the entertainment industry, right?
Rowanth thinks you're cool. He said on Monday he wants you to call him from my phone.
You're famous.
On the show?
They really like the songs.
Oh,
so there was never an issue. I was just like, okay, now it's time to really take it down.
All I'm saying, Cove, is
Ruin the fun.
You, at the end of the day, you must remember
I
that
respect
you
what
are
did.
you are an entertainer. Sarah Shahi's got 3 kids and she's showing her nipples all over Netflix. You know how many women and
Doesn't
men have
matter.
done
It's
nudity?
good for them.
Hey,
That's
guess what?
not me.
Jason Segel showing his penis and
Good for them.
What
Good
movie?
for
And
him.
it's on Netflix now. What is it? One of my favorite movies.
Forgetting
Sarah Marshall is now on Netflix. Forgetting Sarah Marshall. He shows his junk, and this guy shows it.
So is U.S.
They
Marshals.
have these people grow up and have families. Short of a porn, celebrities are all going to have some type of. Is Melody offended that her mom has like booty shots on the internet?
That's on them. It's up to her.
She's going to be like, Mom, take down the picture of your butt and Maxim.
That's for her to decide.
Is Melanie offended?
This is how I
by this
decided
photo
to handle
that
it.
exists on the internet.
That's a weak photo.
Oh, that's the worst photo.
It's a weak photo. I'm
If
offended.
anything, I don't want that taken
I have
down.
that picture on standby in case anyone ever says that if any of us ever say if we ever get accused of being gayist in any way, I'm gonna be like, how's that possible when we're gay? They got a point. Yeah, if there's ever a scandal where it's like Covino and Rich said something that someone in the gay community had offense to, this is our coming out photo. And if you're not on tier 2, it's Covino and I at a Soul Cycle appearance where we're wearing sleeveless shirts together.
Yo, it should be the one. No, it should be the one where we're in San Francisco on the trolley.
Oh, that's the best.
That should be the one.
I gotta find that now.
What do you mean we said gayest things in our Ticklesack days? No, I mean,
aren't we allowed since we're a couple?
We've been gay all along. What are you talking about? So
we should have used that during our negotiation with SXM a year ago or so.
Yeah, you got to play this clip.
Oh, you're not gonna give a good offer to your 15-year running gay show? What? You heard me.
There's a clip that Rich sent me yesterday. You know, it sort of tackles what we just spoke of on how different these kids are today. You know, this kid identifies as a bird. This kid, he identifies as I'm
a hippo.
A hippo, you know, like.
Why were we in San Francisco again?
Why were we in San Francisco?
I think for a car event.
I don't remember, dude.
Why were we there?
The Super Bowl one time? Super Bowl was in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
We went to the Super Bowl 50 in San Francisco, and we went to Covino and I think you might have been there too. Remember we saw Weezer at some car event? Were you with us or no?
No, that was in Vegas, I thought.
No, San Francisco.
Yeah.
Oh, I wasn't there for that. So it must have been
trolley. All right, well, Spot, play the clip of the birds and the bees.
Hey, Preston, and people hitting us up. I don't care about Melody's mom and what she's okay with. It's about me and what I'm okay with and what I feel is okay and appropriate and things like that. I mean, whether or not Jason Segel gives a shit about his future kids seeing his dick in a movie, that's on him. That has nothing to do with me.
Ready?
Yeah. Let's see it.
Oh, sorry.
Hey, it's difficult being a parent these days, because when you talk to your kids about the birds and the bees, not only do you gotta explain the birds and the bees, you gotta explain the bees and the bees, the birds and the birds that used to be bees, the bees that used to be birds, the birds that just look like bees, the bees that look like birds but still got a stinger.
Stinger. So funny because it's so true.
I hate that this woman just sits there laughing and got 4.1 million views.
It's funny because it's true, man.
That shit.
Yeah.
I hate that shit.
Rock on. So when my
with your own content.
daughter's talking about these kids, I'm like, who's that? And then there's a whole other conversation to have on another day. It's like, how do sleepovers work in today's world? When this guy's a Peter Pan sexual and he still has a penis, and this one's gay but really isn't, and that one's a boy who used to be a girl. It's like, how do sleepovers work?
That's a conversation that, to me, is so tricky, because if your daughter's like, Dad, I'm going to have a sleepover with Xander, like, the boy? Well, he's a boy, but he's not a boy. You're like, yeah, but he's a boy. Yeah, but Dad, Xander is I'm
like, does he have a stinger?
So yeah, it's one of those.
Yeah. So now there's another story in the news in the world of parenting, but it has nothing to do with me, and it's more of a what would you do sort of fun story. It's not like, not a daddy time. It's not daddy time story. This is going to get you maybe a little angry.
Oh,
or maybe not. Now, I have this love-hate thing with Mario Lopez.
Stinger.
I think he's a cool dude, but there's also something about him that irks me a little bit.
Is it his fake face-looking face? By the way, this is the
how could anyone
grandest
call us
photo ever
gayest? Look at us on a trolley in San Francisco.
I've never seen the two of you happier.
I like how your legs are crossed.
Look at your legs crossed.
Covino and Rich are gayest. No, we're not. So
take away the cyst.
You know what, Rich?
Drain that cyst.
I think I was smart enough to see the future, and I took that picture for a reason.
Yeah.
You're
just in
so
case.
happy.
Is it true that Steve Covino has made some homosexual jokes? Think again.
Yeah. Bam. San Francisco trolley. We're hanging off of it.
Steve Covino, the San Francisco treat.
Rich is wearing summer Sperry's.
I'm wearing summer Sperry's and a button sweater.
We're wearing matching zippies.
Oh, man.
All right, so Mario Lopez.
Man, oh man. Spot.
There's a lot of things about the guy I admire, but then there's a personal sort of way that he rubs me that I'm not that cool with. Like Mark Paul Gosselaar, to tie it into Saved by the Bell, and a guy we brought up before. When you talk to him, there's something very real about him, right? Like, bring it in, man. Like, yet there's something so fake about Mario Lopez where you can't get past that threshold of his own fame and ego or something.
It's
right.
He
knows us, but he'll act like, yeah, what's up, guys?
Yo, what's up, guys?
And Gosselaar will be like, yo, fuckers, what's up? Bring it in. And there's a realness that Mario Lopez lacks. And yet I still respect all the things he's into and down with and his career and everything else.
You're essentially the same.
We're into a lot of the same things. It's wild because I follow him on social media and I'm like, got a lot in common with this guy, but something about him, or like he's so protected maybe, because he's been famous so long.
Hey, what's up, fellas? How are you? Yeah, cool. All right, stay well.
Yeah, it's like, hey, robot man. I know you know us. And, you could like loosen up a little bit.
And you know what? I'm guessing it's always because he's probably
guarded
on the way to shoot something or coming back from shooting something. But I picture Mario Lopez with a permanent matte finish.
Yeah.
Like never shiny head, never a blemish. Like I feel like anytime I've seen Mario Lopez, interview, party, red carpet, airport, store, he is like,
And remember, my ex worked with him and worked with him closely. Like I remember him being on the phone, and like I'd be talking to her and he'd say stuff to me over the phone, and
he'd be like, hey mama, you're like, who's that?
And I remember he was having a kid the same time I was having a kid. So there was that sort of, oh man, congratulations moments. And I would see him backstage, and I think a lot of people.
Does his kid think Ticklesack is fire?
Maybe. I don't know.
No, dead ass.
Dead ass. That's a whole other thing too. I think a lot of people identifying with celebrities that had kids around the time they had kids. Right? So I see his daughter. I'm like, oh, he's Melody's age. Wow, they're growing up. Crazy. But Mario Lopez, for as awkward as that wall appears to be, there's a lot of things I admire about the guy, right? His love of fighting, the fact that he actually gets out there and he mixes it up, and he's into fitness and tequilas and living life, and he looks great. But another thing I really admire is his little son. I don't know if you've seen his relationship with his little son.
No.
But he's the greatest little kid. And I only know this, again, through social media, and he's talked about him with us. He has a little boy named Nico. And his kid seems to be like the nicest little boy. Like he seems like a great little kid that strives to be everything like his dad is. His dad's a talented guy.
Yeah.
Could dance, right? Could box, could do all kinds of things. This little kid does all of those things. And you see this simply by following them on social media. So this little kid, he's wrestling. And, I'm sure that's a super proud moment for Mario Lopez, who's into wrestling, and that was part of his Slater character. This kid's wrestling, and he seems to be really good.
Does he wear the same singlet? Does he wear the Bayside High singlet?
No, but you have to imagine that this kid's probably provided with some of the best coaches, and he's probably a lot better than these other kids, right? And his dad's Mario Lopez, who has knowledge in that arena.
I mean, that is a big assumption, because a lot of times celebrities will just send their kids to these training
I don't
schools.
think so.
They're not like hiring them private people to train them.
But again, that was
the
my
point
whole
of setting them to these things.
My whole little take on Mario Lopez. But I do admire his family life. He seems to be really all about his family. And here he was, Playboy 1 minute, Family Guy the next. You got to respect that. I do.
Got to respect the Lopez.
I see him with his family, and I can only be like, good for you, dude. That's cool. But his son is great, and he's a cute little kid. And you can see he's all into wrestling and stuff. And Mario Lopez posted a video the other day. I was like, oh, shit.
Oh, snap.
Oh, snap.
When I think Mario Lopez, when Spot thinks Mario Lopez, he thinks maroon singlet. When I think Mario Lopez, you talk about Family Guy.
Mm-hmm.
I think that he looks like he's got a great family life that was so close to not happening because he was engaged and only broke up with, I believe, Ellie Landry?
Yeah, the Dorito girl.
The Dorito girl.
Who was beautiful.
Because he got caught cheating, like the day before their wedding or something?
Yeah.
Something absurd. Like he cheated at the bachelor party or did something and...
He was not ready for marriage, and now he's super family guy.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, you got to think, like, talk about, not a close call, but talk about like a life changer moment.
So, I just had Melody. He had his daughter. But he also had another son and another son. His middle son is at a wrestling tournament. And it gets a little weird. I want to know what you think and what you would do or how you would handle this, or is it acceptable? Is it ever acceptable? Mario Lopez tweeted out, under no circumstances should another parent grab a child that isn't theirs. This happened to my son during his wrestling tournament. Parents need to show more respect and restraint than the kids who participate in youth sports. So his son is like dominating some little kid, some little Gregors, right?
Yeah.
The dad doesn't seem to like that his little boy's being manhandled, so he yanks Mario Lopez's son off him, like aggressively.
What?
Like, I would love to know how Mario handled this afterward, because I can't imagine watching that. And the video and the clip is there for you to see.
That's
he
wild.
posted it. Imagine.
Yeah, you can't in any aggressive way be touching someone else's kid.
It's kind of aggressive.
It's kind of wrong.
I would imagine Mario Lopez wanted to punch this dad in the nose. So in other words, guys, put yourself in his... Mario's got weak shoe game.
Can we, before I just pulled up the Instagram?
Yeah.
But the main page, can we pause for a moment?
Sure.
Just to appreciate Hillary Duff.
I mean, dude, I was going to get to that. So, yeah.
Hillary Duff.
Sorry.
Well, I'm a fan.
It was right there. I just had to...
There's something very likable about Hillary Duff.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, her stuff.
No, I
Her
think
stuff.
yes, I agree, but I don't think that's
she
what
would not pass the barbell challenge.
Yeah, but
No,
that's
she
not.
wouldn't.
That's not.
Or no, she would pass, I guess.
I think Hillary Duff's looks are secondary to me. I just feel like she seems like a really good person too. 'Cause there's a lot of good-looking people that are shitty. I think Hillary Duff's a good person. All right, go on.
With a fat ass.
All right, slow down, Tiger.
You're the tiger.
I'm sorry. I'm looking. I already saw those pictures, so I was looking through feedback.
Oh, sorry.
One thing you guys failed to recognize.
Video.
It's inappropriate for an adult to be talking to another 12-year-old. So that's why I blocked them. Like, I don't need these kids on my page.
Yeah, but you're not talking to him. Blocking them is like a move.
It's the whole thing.
Okay, that's fine. Do what you want. I don't care. I give a shit. It's like I would.
If a man was talking to Melody on social media, that would not be okay.
Yeah, but I'm not saying talk to him. You blocking them was a proactive move. I'm just saying I wouldn't have done anything to each. It's either way is fine.
But again, like it's
Blocking them from what? Our Fox Sports tweets?
Doesn't matter. You know, I was like, why are they talking to me this way? I'm her parent.
Wow.
Okay.
Oh, wow. I'm watching the video.
Yeah.
This is
So
not...
back to Mario Lopez.
right, hang
Sorry
on.
for the Hillary Duff.
Sorry, I got distracted. It was right
Distraction.
there.
Yeah.
It was
I know.
right there.
Hillary stuff. But again, imagine you're Mario Lopez. You're a celebrity. You're recognizable. Everybody grew up with you.
Screen.
And you're there just trying to live a normal life, and your kid is excelling. What I gather from this kid is he excels.
Yeah.
Right? And again, Mario Lopez is the type of guy who, like, I could see he's like real into like pushing his kid in these directions from a good place.
He's an athletic, talented guy, so why not try to push his kid
I don't
to
mean
greatness?
That, I don't mean that in the encourages is the word. Encourages kid to be great. So here's his little son dominating this other little kid in a wrestling match,
Right, so
and
here's
another
the-
parent puts his hands on the kid. I'm like,
so
that's Lopez's kid on there. He is on top. That's Lopez's kid on top.
Wait for it.
Another parent comes in. Watch.
There's me in the background.
Junking him.
Sag back, Nico. Sag back to me.
I think that's a little aggressive. Now, who gets in the face of the parent? Is that just like another dad?
It looked like another dad.
Like, yo, what are you doing, man? You don't put your hands on another kid.
So Mario Lopez's kid is on top.
That's Mario Lopez's kid.
There's me in the background.
Now the parent of the boy who's getting whooped,
right,
yanks him off.
Sag back, Nico. Sag back to me.
He comes, takes him out. Oh, yeah,
you
another
better
parent
you
says
better
beat
back
it.
off.
It wasn't that aggressive,
Bro,
but you don't touch your kid. It wasn't. I thought we dragged him off. He just He pulled him off the other kid a little. I don't think it was good, but I thought it was gonna be worse.
If it meets your aggressive standards, that's a no-no.
Yeah, he said you read it, right?
Yeah, under no circumstances is that okay. But then I want to pose the question for the sake of conversation. You know, there was also a time where where the thought was it took a village to raise some kids.
Yeah.
So again, this is a wrestling match. Unacceptable. But in real life, let's say it was in the playground.
Yeah.
Let's say it was in front of your house. It was in the neighborhood.
Did you say the playground?
Now is there an appropriate time?
Yeah, I'm all for it.
Really? Yeah. I mean, like if you're a parent, right, and you see some other boy doing like some fucked up shit or something, maybe to your kid or another kid, now is it okay?
I agree with some of the feedback. That Mario Lopez wrestling clip.
Yeah.
Not aggressive, but unnecessary. So like I don't know where I stand on it. It wasn't like he tossed the kid. He pulled his legs up.
When it's your kid, it's aggressive.
Yeah, I don't know.
When it's your kid, I feel like I know this little kid only from, again, all the videos he posts. He's a proud dad. And I really think this is a great little kid. I really do.
I think all these
things.
things.
That kindly. When I saw it, that shit was aggressive to me, no matter how aggressive you think it is.
I think as far as touching someone else's kid, it's all circumstantial. Let me explain.
Yeah.
I did this so for such a short period of time, so it doesn't even count. But if you remember, for like 3 months, Emmy played soccer in Texas, right? It was short-lived. It was we lived in Texas while we were finishing this house, right? Emmy played soccer for, let's say, 3 months. So we're talking like probably 10 of those 12 weekends. Remember the other dad's like, hey, can you help me coach? Because he was fucking clueless. I don't know soccer, but I know I'm pretty good with kids, right?
I forgot about this little phase.
Yeah, I mean,
but I was a soccer coach.
I'm good with kids.
Remember, he was like the coach wasn't shit.
Yeah, but the coach was sort of a dud, and he actually asked me to help me, and I was like, all you got to do is be like, all right, kids, we're the dinosaur. They were the dinos. So I was like, all right, growl. So I was having fun. I did realize very quickly that parents want you to get in there if it's the right circumstance. Like, let's say all the kids are lining up to take kicks. And I'm like, all right, kids, make a line. If they're not listening and you're like, all right, come here, little buddy, and you pick them up and put them in the line, no one's going to care if you touch their kid in a like helpful sport way. Like if you help a little kid t-ball and you pick them up and move them in the batter's box, or you're teaching a kid how to get him in a line and kick a soccer ball, or all right, you take your hands and do this. Like, I think people are so scared to touch anyone or anything because of how many creepos there are out there. But I think when it comes to teaching and coaching, parents want you to help their kid. I think on the playground, I don't think you touch another. Even if the kid like pushes your kid, you can't even touch or grab that kid. Though you want to probably trip him. I know you want to trip him. Well, your mom hit. I hear Covino in the bathroom. Covino, your mom hit another kid with a wiffle ball bat because the kid was messing with you. So, I don't know, man.
My mom beat the shit out of a teenage boy who was picking on me.
I mean, a teenager is a different story.
Yeah, he was a teenager, and coincidentally,
it's not right, but it's a different story.
He just died. Yeah, he just passed away. Yeah, no, that's the update on that kid.
Man.
I mean, you know what? And it's sad because it turns out he had like wiffle bat injuries from.
Stop
his early
it!
teenage-
Oh my God! I was gonna make a joke, and there you are.
But no, he didn't.
Stop it.
I mean, the guy
Did he
had
actually
a colorful
died?
life.
Oh, okay.
Let's
Yeah.
just say,
You know, let's just say.
So he
passed
actually
away.
died.
Yeah, he passed
Okay.
away.
Oh man.
I
wouldn't joke about that. I mean, but I did.
but
you just did.
But you get what I'm saying? The difference between coaching and being aggressive. What that guy did was unnecessary. The kids were wrestling.
Yeah,
and
they were in a
he
wrestling
grabbed the guy's like kid and pulled
But
up.
that's what makes it like.
I think he
even
meant he
more
like aggressively
inappropriate.
dragged him. He was just like, fight's over, pull the kid's leg off.
no, but
It was unnecessary.
He interrupted a match.
Yeah, he jumped in the mat. Fuck out of here. Just because your little bitch son is getting whooped by Mario Lopez's kid, you don't touch my kid. I'm surprised Mario Lopez.
Yeah.
Because he's a tough dude. I'm surprised he didn't fucking punch him in the nose.
Maybe he thought he was getting special treatment because he's Mario Lopez's kid.
Nah.
No. All I know is that when it comes to
I don't know.
coaching,
Yeah,
though,
I don't know.
when it comes to coaching, let's not go overboard with the whole like, don't touch my kid. And I'm being serious because I think everyone's so weird now about creepos that if your kid's learning how to play basketball and the coach is like behind your kid, like moving their arms and like picking them up and moving them 2 feet, some people are nervous to do that because like, I don't want to touch someone else's kid. But that's part
I'm
of
with you on that. I'm
like
with you on
if you're watching baby James play t-ball and the coach gets in there and helps him with his batting stance, I can promise you that coach is like nervous the whole time, like I'm touching a kid, I'm touching a kid.
But that's completely acceptable.
Yeah, because the whole time you're thinking like, I don't know if this kid's parents are fucking weirdos. So like I told you, one of the moms in Texas was like,
elbow up, kid.
One of the kids' moms in Texas was like, here, honestly, if you need move, pick him up and move him if he's not listening to you. I was like, all right, because it's
people are just hitting us up. That's way different.
But I'm saying,
way different.
But if you don't think coaches, if you don't think kid coaches and dance teachers and little league, if you don't think those coaches are hesitant to even be like, all right,
we're talking about appropriate times to touch a kid, or handle a kid. Touch a kid sounds weird. And then like a completely inappropriate time is what I just exposed you to in that scenario.
You're playing little league. You're scared to even be like, all right, move your arm up. It's okay if I touch. Like it's
careful, he's sore.
But you get that that shouldn't be. Think of how many times your coaches like helped you with positioning or mechanics or something. But
it was more about, does it take a village? Like take it out of the wrestling ring,
by the way,
wrestling mat, and ask, if that were in real life, then is it appropriate? EJ Reed hit us up instantly, and EJ was like, "Nah, I don't believe in that. It takes a village mentality. Like you don't put your hands on my kids.
No, I don't
it's
think
up to
that.
the other parents to discipline nowadays. Where back in the day, you always hear stories of teachers hitting kids and other parents maybe even hitting kids, because they were doing something in the neighborhood, or like I don't know. And Rich is taking it from like, it's not. If anyone ever did that to one of your kids, you're going to feel a lot different about it.
No, I agree.
I think so.
I think Franz makes a great point. I'm reading our feedback. Franz is so right.
What's up, Franz?
I think this is maybe the approach. I know we're talking about two different things, but it has to do with, does it take a village? Do you put your hands on another kid in any fashion? And I agree that Franz says when he coaches, I think this is something you do before the season. Parents, gather around. When I'm instructing your kids, whether it's fielding a ground ball, their batting stance, let's just make it clear. Are we comfortable with me adjusting them and stuff like that? Because there might even be a weirdo parent that's like, like he was touching my kid. It's like, no, I was helping his batting stance. I don't know. But Jimmy, I'm telling you, there's weirdos out there. This wrestling thing was different, but I don't know. Coaching, one thing, but you're right. This parent was just another parent at the wrestling match that decided to pull Mario Lopez's kid by the leg off the other kid because Mario Lopez's kid won the match.
Yeah, some bullshit. Like, take your seat, crazy dad.
Yeah.
Little bitch son. Like, chill. Anyway, moving on. Shove that up your ass and smoke on it later, guys. Talk to your wife about it. What do you think? How do you feel? Just makes you think. And that makes me think of something Rich and I were talking about yesterday. Rich showed these clips of, the wrestlers he went to see this weekend and how Iron Mike Sharp just isn't that sharp anymore. Right?
Yeah.
And it dawned on us how every day Rich and I do a mental exercise. We're forcing ourselves to think about things. Rich was forcing me to think about crazy hypotheticals before. Our wheels are constantly turning. So much so, it's hard to get our attention sometimes after the show because we're always thinking of things to talk about and observing things and deepen our thought. Rich and I do mental exercises every day that a lot of people don't. I think you guys benefit from what we do, even though it's silly, but we're forcing you to think and you're trying to outwit us and you're trying to be quick.
I think people
notice it when you notice it when you see your other friends. You're like, they're not as quick as I am because they're not doing these mental exercises that we do every day.
I think by listening to a podcast or a radio show like ours, you are constantly trying to sharpen your wit. And Spot, who never says kind words about us, Spot has said in the past that hanging out with us has sharpened his wit and made him think quicker. Because you hang out with people that are constantly trying to out punchline each other and joke.
Quick. You know who the quickest is? I know who the quickest is.
Wait, hold on. Don't tell me.
No, I'm a huge fan. I've mentioned him a few times in the past few weeks.
Wait, the quickest?
The quickest. Like I marvel at, man, that was lame, but it was quick as hell.
There's a couple quickies.
Stay sharp, everybody. I know when I talk to old friends, when Rich talks to old friends, the guys that are doing mental exercises, staying with it, playing Wordle, whatever it is, it's a mental exercise. It's like a muscle. If you don't use it, you lose it. And I've realized that this show forces me to think where I wouldn't have thought before. And I hope you get a little something out of it, even if it's stupid shit, which is where we thrive. It's still forcing you to think and think about that later today. How would you have handled that parental thing? And is it okay ever? But who's the quickest? Quickest with a
Can you hand me
bam.
another pen, please?
Yeah.
The pen 15.
What?
No, just any pen. Yeah, it's fine. I have a few that come to mind. Can I read them and you tell me if they're on your list?
I noticed one. He's the king in my mind right now. So,
hold on.
I mean, all comedians are quick.
Okay.
Especially when they go on there playing with the crowd moments, you could really truly see how quick a comedian is. But there's one guy to me that I've noticed lately that is quicker than the rest. I'm like, man, that guy, even though he's corny, he's so quick. I admire it. He must do mental exercises all the time.
Before I give you my list, I want to tell you why I think this comes into play so much. The mental exercises and the challenging yourself to think.
Which, by the way, was a real discussion Rich and I wanted to have.
Yeah.
Based on the WWE and how Rich said Slick was a guy who would improv and his world was entertainment.
And now he can't even
put a sentence together. Yeah. And again, life happens. I get all that. But you got to stay sharp.
You know what it made me realize?
Like Iron Mike.
The difference between my mom and my dad. And no disrespect to my mother, but my dad listens to our show every day. My dad listens to Michael K every day. My dad listens to sports talk radio. My dad reads a lot on the internet.
Yeah, it's forcing you to
think. Every day my dad's following the failing stock market. My dad's very involved with thinking. My dad is not a sit around do nothing guy. Thinking.
So wheels are turning. You're trying to outwit somebody, trying to outthink somebody, trying to find a different angle.
My dad is a very sharp 70-year-old guy.
He's like a cut cone knife from the 90s.
Now my mom, I feel like a lot of times my mom's like,
and a tomato.
My mom's like, Richie, can you do? And I'm like, I feel like my mom and dad are so far apart.
She didn't stay sharp.
She didn't stay sharp. And I noticed that with my friends too. Some of my old school friends, like you said, that don't do creative things for a living. I'll come up with like a quick, stupid joke. And they're like, they think
they
like,
don't even get it.
Or they think like, man, you're quick. And I'm like, nah, it's just sort of what I do.
Yeah. Most of the time I'll throw out a joke and I'll have to explain it because I could tell my friends didn't even get it. And it's not even just a reference. Oh, yeah, blank like blank. You know, like a wordplay or a name reference. And oh, my God, this guy's not sharp. He's just not sharp. The sharpest of sharp. Let me see who you put down.
I have a running list of 5, but I feel like I'm missing like the home run of home runs.
There's a lot
of this list.
Comedians, you could name them all, but I think I have the king, so go ahead.
The sharpest of sharp.
You're going to disagree with my answer, but I'm telling you, like I've when you really notice something like that, like, wow, he must be really good for me to notice. That's what I was thinking.
We're talking about mental exercises, and now I'm like, duh. All right, here we go. My number one on my list, in no particular order, I put down Conan O'Brien.
He's one of the greats.
I feel like I look at Conan O'Brien.
He's so great. Yeah.
And my first thought is like this guy, just his ability to.
Remember, he's on my Mount Rushmore of comedy. I've said that.
So I feel like
I love him.
Conan O'Brien.
He's not my answer.
Conan O'Brien to me is. I just feel like he's the guy that is always thinking of something really witty to say next.
He's incredible.
All right, next on my list, Artie Lang in his prime.
Okay.
I feel like Artie, when Artie was in that, when
his job was to be quick.
When Artie was
literally hand Howard punchlines and have his own.
When Artie Lang was on the Stern Show in his prime, Artie Lang was so, to me, quick to that punch. Some people think Jimmy Norton's the same. When he was on Opie and Anthony back in the day. Joel McHale to me is on this list. Joel McHale is always quick to a sarcastic one-liner. Like Joel McHale thinks in over the top sarcasm. Like if you say something, Joel McHale's already like thinking, what's my hipster witty
That's
comeback?
A really great answer. He's a hard guy to outwit. That's a fucking, I'll give you that one, bro. Joel McHale is a great answer because I don't think people would put him in that company, but he's probably one of the quickest dudes we've ever talked to. That's a great answer.
Even though he doesn't play off the crowd much and he's more of a philosopher now, I feel like Dave Chappelle is still just not only a brilliant mind, a great comeback guy. Like when that guy tried to tackle him on stage the other day.
Yeah.
Do you see what the first thing he said was? He was like, Spock, can you find
his spongy head?
No, find the clip of Chappelle. No, where he's like, thank God that was a clumsy N-word. and he's brushing off his shirt. Like Dave Chappelle's quick to the punch. And maybe on your list, I'm going to say
It's funny you said quick to the punch, because what this really is who's the best counterpuncher. The fastest counterpuncher. They hear something, they see something, and bam, hit you with a zinger that quick. That's impressive, man. That means their mentals are in high gear, and they've done they've stayed sharp.
I'm gonna say my final answer, and I'm not just saying it because you're my boy, but if I had to I feel like Steve Covino is on this list. I think Steve Covino is one of the quickest counterpunchers in the game. You just don't get
it's a skill.
You just don't get enough credit. You are quick
I don't get any credit.
You don't get enough credit because you're as quick as a lot of these guys.
Oh, you got a ton of credit amongst 12-year-olds.
Yeah.
Maybe that's my audience. You're right, Spot.
I'm gonna say my final one on the list: Conan O'Brien, Artie Lang in his prime, Chappelle, Joel McHale, and the Impractical Jokers.
Now, my answer, again, someone who takes a lot of pride in counterpunching, right? And I'm not saying I'm fucking slam dunking it. A lot of my shit's dumb as fuck. I get all that.
Yeah, but you take pride in being quick because you are.
But I'm trying to be like, oh, this is a zinger. And it's a game we all play. That's what
Especially
we're doing.
in the bedroom.
Trying to outthink in a fun way sort of thing. When I watch Howie Mandel, bro, he is like,
really?
Bam!
Bullshit?
Yeah. Anytime
Wow, really?
I watch
Okay,
Howie Mandel,
okay.
and it's the silliest, most dad reference and dad joke. But man, the guy is nonstop quick. You say anything, he's like, bam. You ba-bam, 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 ba-bam. And it's always corny, but that shit is so quick. I'm like, this dude is like beyond
so you know what?
quick-witted. It's unbelievable. So my point here in this conversation, he stays sharp. Stay sharp, my friends.
You know who's
or else
also
you're gonna end up like Barry Horowitz and Slick.
I know it was a stupid cake show, but I got a lot of respect for Mikey Day after I watched him host that stupid "Is It Cake" show, because he was
I
very
never watched it, but you said that.
He was very Joel McHale like, where like whatever if anytime the contestants or anyone said something questionably lame or something, he had like the bam, like the sarcastic counterpunch.
The counter, like he's a great counterpuncher. But Howie Mandel, I'm telling you, you want to see what I'm talking about? Watch Bullshit. His new show on Netflix is such a dumb, fun, entertaining game show watch. And his last appearance on Celebrity IOU on HGTV with the Property Brothers, the dude is so quick. His jokes are corny, but he's quick as hell. So anyway, stay sharp was an actual discussion that we were trying to have based on the WWE not so sharp anymore sort of observations we've
have
made.
a few
and
more.
your friends. You see it with your friends. They're not sharp.
I think there's 3 comedians that come to mind for me. Also, like off the radar comedians. Some more on the radar than others that I think are quick.
I think all comedians are quicker than the average person because they've trained their brain to think that way always.
But I think just because you're a comedian doesn't mean you could do a good podcast or improv.
No.
But there's a few guys that stand out. When Bert Kreischer and Tom Segura are going back and forth.
God, they're so great.
Bert and Segura back and forth.
Yeah.
They're
Magic.
quick. Yeah, they're magic. Andrew Schultz, the comedian. Someone brought him up, and I agree. He's on that
But
list.
he's also very well thought out, written out too.
But Andrew,
Jason Nichols said that.
Yeah, Andrew Schultz is very quick.
I feel like he's more thought out though. I don't know if he's quick.
And
to be
know who
honest.
I love
don't
too?
know.
What?
I'm sure he is, but
Is it Bobby Lee, the Asian comedian that hangs out with? Is it Bobby Lee?
Yeah.
The Asian comedian that hangs out with like Theo Von
know
and
who
some of
you're
those
talking
guys. Like he always wears like a Scully a lot.
says he was touched by a slow person.
Yeah, but that guy,
When he was
is
a kid.
That dude, quick. That dude is quick.
So stay sharp.
Stay sharp, my
And stay
friends.
thirsty,
That's
my
the
friends.
point. Yeah.
All right. Real quick Rando news. Again, stuff we didn't get to yesterday. I'll just throw it out there, Rich. Ready?
Oh, Rando news?
Rando news of the day.
I agree with Jim Norton, Kevin. Colin Quinn, I don't find him, I don't know. I'm not a fan, maybe.
I think he's known for it. Diez de Mayo. Rando news on this Diez de Mayo. We didn't talk about it a lot this weekend, but Canelo, big upset.
Canelo.
FoxSportsRadio.com if you want to hear our take on that. But Canelo just fought a much bigger dude who was extremely skillful, and he had no work for him. Talked about it on FoxSportsRadio.com. Also, a big weekend in the UFC. Chandler called out Conor McGregor. He had a nasty knockout over Ferguson. By the way, Spot, it's worth showing.
Sorry, what?
Michael Chandler in the UFC fought Tony Ferguson, right?
Chandler Bing?
Who's also a great fighter. He kicks him in the face, and they capture a still of this.
Do you want to just see the still?
Yeah, just the still. Here's a 30-something-year-old guy in Ferguson that immediately looks like he's 137 years old because they capture. Look at that.
He looks like Abe Vigoda.
Yeah, it's
I used to be a lot stronger.
I mean, again, it's an action shot. His face is rippling, because he got struck with a foot to the chin.
It's like,
so
momentum.
I get it, but what a image that is.
Like there's a video I saw recently of someone pulling like 11 G's or like a certain amount of G's, G-force. And you see like they're just like a young looking person. And then over time, it's like their face sinks in. It's
gravity.
And they look old. So this is just momentum.
Bang.
Throwing off. And probably, I'm sure his eyes are all puffy and beat up. So Abe Vigoda.
Some great fights over the weekend. Again, at foxsportsradio.com, you can hear more about that.
What does he look like normally? What's his name?
Tony Ferguson. Not like that. He aged. The caption was to that photo, like he aged 35 years in that photo. All right. Now,
he's a handsome guy.
Chriselle Staus.
Oh, I know her.
Is Staus or Strauss? Strauss?
No,
Staus?
it's Staus.
It's Staus.
Yeah, so here's before that's before.
Yeah. He's a normal looking dude.
He's a normal looking dude.
Yeah, that photo, he looks like he's 185 years old.
He must have chose ugly long life.
Here's what happens when you
In
choose.
the hypothetical.
Yeah. So, Chriselle Staus, been on the show, lovely. Jordan thinks she's the epitome of beautiful.
I mean, she's very, very pretty.
I'm like,
but
slow down. Give yourself some more credit,
I mean,
Jordan.
she's definitely hot, but
I think hasn't she said she's done anything?
She's gorgeous, but we did Orange Theory with her every week.
I'm not
so
saying she's not gorgeous.
I think I got
I'm
used
saying
to
women
I got
are
used
like,
to seeing her. I got used to seeing Chriselle every week, like once a week at Orange Theory, and we'd chit chat, and then she blew up on this reality show. So
this was her.
She's gorgeous.
What year was this? This was 07. I should dig out this interview. From
we saw her like 5 years. We saw her like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
This was her on our show in 07.
I mean, she's definitely good looking, Spot.
Yeah,
but she's no more good looking than girls that we've dated and stuff. No, but I'm saying, I think she's gorgeous. But
07 was a good year.
Tell Jordan, give herself a little more credit. I think Jordan and her are the same level of hotties.
Jordan thinks that, she is the be all end all. And like my ego kicks in. I'm like, she's not that hot. Like you're, chill.
I mean, she did.
But she is beautiful.
She was married to Justin Hartley.
I mean,
is there anyone more handsome than Justin Hartley?
He's a handsome guy.
Motherfucker's handsome.
So I'm glad you brought him up. The dude, her ex-husband, super handsome guy. She's a beautiful woman. He blows up from This Is Us. She's blowing up from that Selling Sunset show on Netflix. And they break up. And now Chriselle Staus is dating G-Flip, who I never heard of. Have you ever heard of G-Flip?
I saw she was dating some rich, bald, short guy.
No.
But look at Justin Hartley. Jeez Louise, is he fucking handsome.
He chose to live a short life.
Yeah, I'm surprised he's still alive. I choose handsome. Jesus.
It's the deal with the devil. He's like, I'll be handsome for about maybe 50. Can I get 60 years?
See him on This Is Us with his shirt off?
I don't want
when he does the Manny? Oh my goodness.
Hold on. Justin Hartley shirtless.
You're right. Chriselle was dating someone else afterward, and the story was whoever she was dating afterward.
Oh my God.
She was saying that she wanted to have kids or something, or he didn't want to have kids or some shit like that.
He has a daughter with his ex who's beautiful. The daughter and the mother.
But it had to do with family. They weren't on the same page with kids.
Yeah. That was the reason
they
for
broke
the
up.
Yeah.
Now she's dating a non-binary woman.
Sorry, what?
Person.
Oh yeah, she's dating a woman now. I did see this.
G-Flip, who's a musician, and the entertainment world is sort of like, huh?
What?
No, but like they're signing
because she went from being with Justin Hartley to a rich, like super powerful real estate guy,
and then
now she's with a woman.
Yeah, and she
good for her.
Came out or disclosed this information. I don't know what it is. Just the other day, but it garnered some interesting reactions that are making people speculate on social media and on the internet. Like, what are you trying to say? It's not okay? Like that kind of vibe. That's G-Flip. That's actually a good picture of G-Flip.
Here's my question then.
And G-Flip is non-binary, which means I don't know what it means.
I will say this.
They don't.
I mean, I don't know how to put it into words.
Means they don't identify.
So G-Flip
with the
I didn't want to say this.
But imagine if you were Justin Hartley.
But here's
their pronouns. What are their pronouns?
No, but here's the question.
They, them.
Okay.
Yeah.
My question is this: if you are Justin Hartley or even Chriselle, So if her and Justin Hartley worked out, would she even explore this lesbian side of her, or was it in her? Was it in her the whole time?
That's what's weird about.
Maybe she's.
It's like Chris DiStefano does a great stand-up
bit.
bit.
Weird, but interesting about.
Yeah, it's not
dynamics.
weird. It's just it's weird to think that maybe it was in someone. Chris DiStefano spot in his stand-up does a great bit about. I'm pretty sure I'm not gay, but I won't really find out until my dad dies. And everyone's like, "What?" He's like, his dad's an old Italian guy, so he's like, I can't even put in my mind the thought of am I gay until my dad's not here. So he's like, for all I know, my dad dies, and I'm like, hey.
I feel like everyone seems to forget there was that whole, what was it, the 90s or like the early 2000s when not only Rich, but remember Anne Heche was with Ellen?
Yeah, of course.
Anne Heche out of nowhere was like, yeah, I'm a lesbian. Started dating Ellen for years, and then out of nowhere was like, yeah, I'm no longer a lesbian. I'm married to a man.
Who forgot that?
I did. I thought Ellen, she's not still not with a woman?
No. Anne Heche isn't. Ellen.
Anne Heche is not with a woman?
She married a man.
A man?
I think women are all women. Most women
like,
are a banana peel away.
And she came out
from,
and said,
kissing another woman.
I swear, I have to look up the story,
I
but
don't think it's a banana. I don't think it's a banana peel. I think every young woman is open to kissing another woman, but I think it's like.
I mean, it's hard to deny the beauty of another woman.
I swear Anne Heche came out and said that she was inhabited by an alien for those years. I swear.
There's some weird story about that.
I remember.
So yeah, love is love.
Yeah.
I get it. Love is love.
Yeah.
It comes in all shapes and sizes. But it's got to be weird for Justin Hartley, unless he sort of always knew that.
Love
was
is
a possibility.
love. I have a friend whose dad came out after. I have a female friend. Sarah and I have a female friend whose dad. No, not her dad. Her mom. After her parents got divorced, her mom's been in a lesbian relationship for like 20 years after her parents broke up. That happens all the time. There's dudes that are. Oh, if you want to talk about this. The Abercrombie documentary, did you watch it yet?
I did. White Hot on Netflix, the Abercrombie documentary, the guy that was the mastermind, the evil mastermind behind the whole Abercrombie brand was always questionable. And then there came a point in his life where it's like no longer a secret. He was just openly with a partner. And then that sort of explains his fascination with all these hunks on the bags and the shirtless dudes. And when he first came to his first hunk on the bag.
Exactly.
Or his last.
Exactly.
So
see, there's the quick whip. Hunk on the bag.
It's just a story. I'm just giving you the news.
Yeah, no, but
that's all. Non-binary is something you're going to hear more and more and more and more and more about if you haven't already. Because truthfully, I get it. Love is love, and if you have an ability to not see gender and I just love that person, I understand it. That's just not who I am.
There's a good chance. There's a good chance that your wife or girlfriend has kissed a woman.
Again, women.
There's a good chance.
I think all women are a banana peel away of a drunk night and.
Again.
Jordan was with Sophia last night and tonight.
Sorry?
Yeah. We're the wonder what's going on there. I'm just kidding.
You don't think they ever kissed?
No.
How do you know that?
Get at it, because I wouldn't know.
Can she bring Sophia to my yoga class tonight?
Ask her.
What makes you think she never kissed her?
I'm gonna text her right now.
Partying by the beach, I think, right now.
No, tell her.
What you can't guarantee that they never made out.
Sophia might come over. I don't know. I'm not sure.
You're not 100% sure.
To your place?
Maybe. I mean, they were with each other all day yesterday. Jordan was supposed to stay with her, but she came back home.
Jordan goes to Disney World more than those weird moms that wear all the buttons.
No, you know what the truth is with that? Her girlfriend's mother bought them a 3-day pass for her birthday.
Oh yeah, those don't. They don't. You can use them over the course of
So that's why you've seen
few months. Yeah,
you see on social media, what she's up to and things like that. So yeah, she's been in Disneyland a few times. All right, so Chriselle is dating G-Flip, some musician.
Whoopity-doo.
Yeah, whoopity-doo. It's a story. It is. Because no one expected it, I guess.
Right. It catches you off guard.
Right.
There's nothing wrong with it.
No.
But it's like,
Well, you know what it is,
It's still interesting.
You know why it's a story
when
spot?
you're used to something and then out of nowhere that changes.
You know why it's a story?
It's going to peak your ears are going to perk up a little bit.
It's a story spot because people make you think like you're not supposed to perk up to it. Like, oh wow, Chriselle's with a female rapper? Like we're supposed to be like, yeah, what? So? No, but you're allowed to think, whoa, hold on, wasn't she married to a man?
I don't care about their identity or whatever.
Yeah.
Chriselle is a beauty.
Yeah.
G-Flip? very, very perplexed by that.
Well, maybe there's more to it. Maybe it's not about looks, dude. She was with that short little hobbit after Justin Hartley.
It's not about looks.
Well,
Nothing's
keep in mind,
about looks.
she was with the most handsome dude in Hollywood. She was in a marriage with probably a top 10 handsome dude in Hollywood, and it didn't work.
Sense about
no, but it didn't work. So then she might be like, well, what does handsome dudes do for me? Nothing.
True. No, that's true. All right, so moving on.
Maybe she enjoys, there's still social dynamics. So maybe she enjoys being the woman in the relationship.
Yeah.
And she wants to be someone who's the man in the relationship. And I hate, obviously you can't assign the gender to a situation like this, but there still are societal and dynamic norms.
Dynamics.
Yeah.
There's always going to be a dynamic in a relationship.
That was one of my books on Ready, Set, Grow. Dynamics in your relationships. I read that one. All right, so check this out.
Cute.
Rando News.
Justin Hartley.
Rando News.
Tonight, a very emotional episode of This Is Us, by the way.
I want to announce something.
3 left.
I'm dating Justin Hartley now.
Nice.
Only 3 episodes left.
Sorry to hear that, bro.
Me too. Tonight's the big talk. Tonight's the big talk. The big 3 have the big talk.
I'm using my brain. Oh, okay.
Dating Justin Hartley.
Doctor Strange 2 brings in the most opening day ticket sales this year so far. Over 100 million.
It beat out Spider-Man.
revenue.
Spider-Man was last year.
It made over 100 million, but
these movies.
We had a listener named Rob. I don't want to give him a shout out.
These movies are just cash
But
cows.
Rob said, dude, he was so disappointed by it. He said, first hour and a half started strong. He said the ending was weak. He didn't like it. Blah blah blah. He said he gave it like a 2 out of 10.
Don't give me anything out.
I
But
don't even like when people do that.
I don't know.
No,
but Doctor Strange did well over the weekend, and I didn't get to this
You know
yesterday.
why I go to a Marvel movie?
To marvel at it.
To marvel at it for the cool physical or not physical, the action scenes, the special effects, the storyline is it's so far down the list. Like Spider-Man, the most recent one, No Way Home, was an interesting thing, but it was fun to see the old characters come back. It was fun to
Jason Brown
see the effects. It's like, you got to check your Siskel and Ebert thumbs at the door.
No, dude, I don't even want to. I don't want to hear people's. I don't even want to hear people's opinions, to be honest. And I'll tell you why. Because
your 3 thumbs up. You got to check them at the door.
Let's say there's something I do want to watch. I don't want.
Not even Siskel, Ebert, and Hortensias.
No, I just if there's something I want to watch.
I'm checking all 3 thumbs outside the theater, and I'm going in to enjoy myself. Like the most recent Harry Potter.
I don't want to.
It's not the greatest movie.
No, but I don't want to hear about it. I don't want to hear even your opinion. I'll tell you why. Because now I'm going in with the perspective of, oh, you didn't like it. So even if I do like it, I'm like, I'll be thinking like, oh, I liked it, but why didn't he like it? I'll give you an example. I finished Ozark. Right? I finished Ozark.
And everyone's saying the ending was weak.
No spoilers.
Yeah.
No spoilers, but I saw a lot of people before I watched the ending, they were like, yeah, I really didn't love how it ended. Me? I was fine with how it ended. So I wish I had not seen I hated the ending because to me, to be honest, to me,
it ruins it a little bit.
I sort of thought it was all right. I'm like, well, what did you want to happen? To me, I don't know. I was not disappointed.
Are you going to see it?
Props to Doctor Strange. No.
No thanks.
Kentucky Derby was this weekend.
Thanks.
80-1 odds.
I don't even know who Doctor Strange is. He's the weird guy with the cape, right?
The storyline is this movie made.
Remember, when I grew my hair.
Out of any movie,
you look like Doctor Strange.
You constantly come here and say, "Oh, it was in the top 10." Of course, I watched it on Netflix. This was the #1 movie of probably going to be the year.
Yeah, made over 100 million in its weekend.
You refuse
debut.
to see it.
But I don't like that genre, Spot. You can't force it.
I don't like
do you watch
sports,
baseball every day? Do you watch baseball? You do sports a show because you're affiliated with us. There's a reason for that.
Yeah.
You would. I mean,
so
I don't need to.
You do a pop culture and entertainment podcast.
He's going to see a Dr. Brown Thumb in theaters?
And you haven't seen
Not Doctor Strange.
The biggest movie franchise of all time.
I'll watch Doctor Strange when I have no care or clue at him.
You'll watch The Ultimatum, Move or Marry On, but you won't watch Doctor Strange.
But I don't know anything about Doctor Strange other than he has a little mustache and a cape.
Go through the Marvel universe.
Speaking of mustaches, I got an update on mustaches.
Watch one of
Spot. Hey, Spot, why don't you watch the Mets every day?
Oh, well, because the Mets every day don't mean anything. This is a movie that millions of dollars were spent on.
This doesn't mean anything. It's
Mets are reality, though.
Mets are reality, though.
This is like not
reality.
reality.
Make-believe nonsense.
It's entertainment. You watch entertainment constantly.
Yes, but you can't tell me to care about something I don't care about.
You just talked about watching Ozark.
I care about that.
Yeah, but
because it drew my interest. why can't you just accept the fact that people don't necessarily connect to all things? Same way, Spot. Why don't you watch, what have we been watching? What Spot? Why don't you watch the Lakers show, Winning Time?
Oh, it's so good.
It's so good. You hear us talk about it. You hear us talk about it. It's
Best
HBO.
show.
It's HBO's big Sunday night show. Why don't you watch it?
Because I don't have HBO, so I haven't.
That's the reason?
I'm waiting to reactivate a subscription for
But you will watch it?
Yeah, I'll watch it.
By the way, even Ian Kennedy,
speaking of
who dumps on us all the time when we talk sports.
Yeah,
he's like, I'm pretty sure he posts on social media like, I don't like sports, man. What a damn good show that is. It's great. John C. Reilly's great. Jason Siegel's great. Adrian Brody's great. The players that depict the Lakers are great. The whole show is fantastic.
Can I do an ounce of self-promotion?
Sally Field was great.
The plus tiers this week will receive
let's hear all about it.
A hybrid of, not a hybrid, but a combo of 2 Lakers legends in honor of the season finale of Winning Time coming up this weekend.
Ooh, Shaq and Kareem Abdul-Jabbar?
Oh, I should have put Shaq on there. Fuck.
Did you put on?
Kareem and Magic.
We had Magic Johnson on. That's right.
That's right.
Kareem and Magic Spot.
I just assumed people that were on the show.
Why don't you make it a John C. Reilly? Throw him in there too. That way you can make it a Winning Time tier 2 plus.
I'll throw that up.
Tier 1 idea. Yeah, that's a good one.
I'll put John C. up on his own. But I put because it was the 2 players that were featured on the show.
So if you subscribe to our plus tiers and you want some of the archives this week, Magic Johnson, Kareem,
that's some good,
and John C. Reilly.
Good producer thinking right there, man.
I also threw up an old friend in need from 2007
for that
so
one.
You can hear our deep thoughts about relationships from 2007. So those are up on the plus
2007 was a smutty year for all of us. So I can't even imagine what my thoughts
were. That disclaimer's coming in handy for
I think
that
I
segment.
wrote butt crack. I think I wrote butt crack sex in 2007.
No, you wrote butt crack sex in 2009.
Oh, really?
2007 was Ass Eater.
Did I do Poom Poom Now?
Dead ass.
Did I do Poom Poom Now?
Poom Poom Now was like 2011.
Poom Now.
Or 2010.
What? Dude, can I hear a little taste of Poom Poom Now?
That's so good.
I know
Gotta
Rich
get
wants
that.
all my daughter's
Honestly,
friends to hear this.
Gotta get that.
Poom Poom Now.
Poom. I think I wrote it.
Gotta get.
For me,
Boom, boom, now.
Was one of my,
now.
for me as a producer, is my favorite song.
Ticklesack Tuesday. Come on. For old time's sake.
Because I feel. Oh wait, this is Boom Boom Trail. For me, it was like I remember I downloaded Auto-Tune because Auto-Tune was big in that song. I put so much effort into.
By the way, I was telling my parents about
the first one or second one.
The melody scenario with the songs, and my mom's like, "Your songs are great." I'll tell you the rest in a minute.
Gotta get that.
Gotta get that.
There's only
Gotta
one
get
line
that.
we fucked up though.
Gotta get that. Gotta get that.
Boom, boom, boom.
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 Gotta get that.
Can't wait for Gabe to
Gotta
remaster
get
this.
that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Gotta get that.
Boom.
Gotta get that. Yo, you got my tip just like a rock. You can get that face full of Malone. You got that nussy hoe about to blow. Now swallow, don't spit. Next level cuff for boom. You got that boom, boom, boom.
Oh, how
That
dirty.
Wu-Tang boom, boom, boom.
Film.
Boom, boom.
Gotta get that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Gotta get that.
Boom, boom, boom. They're like
Gotta get
remixes.
that.
Boom, boom, boom.
Gotta get that.
Yeah,
This would be huge
Gotta
on the
get that.
top.
it's so mid.
Gotta get that.
Can't believe that.
Gotta get that.
You think this is
I
mid?
want that boom boom now. Them nussies jocking my style. They try to battle my swagger. A peach latex pick now. I'm so 2009. I'm gonna be taking what's mine. I want that boom boom boom. That super boom boom boom. Let me get it now. Nussies in the place. It's time to go
Here I
down.
come.
Put your ass in the air. Spotty ass mom, put the beat down. I'll be rocking square feet. I'll be rocking square feet.
Great song, bro.
So good.
What a song.
We took out that would have been perfect for satellite radio. That's where we blew it.
Yeah, I can't wait for my daughter's friends to hear that one.
Quality.
Yeah, Poon Poon now.
Honestly, that is my greatest achievement.
That is not mid.
What did my daughter
There's
say?
nothing mid about that.
I'm not
shit.
even physically capable.
There's nothing. You want to hear my weakest?
That song is
production?
fire.
My chubby.
Dead ass. So I was talking to my parents about the melody. I don't want melody here in these songs. My mom's like, you're just gonna have to explain to her, blah blah blah. But some of those songs are they're terrible, right? Like gross.
Yeah.
This song. She started cutting on I'm like, chill, mom. She started cutting on some of my lyrics, right? And
Fuck. That pisses me off so much.
It pissed me off too, to be honest. I actually talked to Melody about that. I'm like, why would you say your dad's stuff is mid? Like, your dad was one of the best in the game. Covino and Rich was the shit. You just don't know. Anyway, I was talking to my parents about the songs, and I said, yeah, but she said something is your best one though. Oh, Spot's got the look. She loves it.
It's a really good one.
Yeah,
It's fantastic.
I guess it's not very vulgar either.
Yeah, no.
It's more just about Spot having the look. No, I know, but I'm saying a lot of our old parody songs are pretty vulgar about
That's also what we were talking
and
about.
blowjobs and ass cheeks. Spot's got the look is pretty much like Spot got the look, and I'm mad about it. It's a funny song. It might be our best one.
We did calm down as the years went on.
Yeah, but 90% of our songs are about blown loads and assholes.
In the beginning, for sure.
Yeah.
Why jealous all over his dick?
Spotty is the man with the hammer in his pants like a rugged John Ham. Eats pizza on the shitter, makes the girlie's jaws drop. Spot's got the look, dude, it's not
Ruggedly.
look. That is not your best look. Sexually around, cause he's sexually lumber. He's got a beard now, it's kind of red in color. A hairy man is Sasquatch. Spot's got the look.
If you just count to 21, it looks like you're rapping.
Spot's got the look.
All right, so what I said to my mom in response was, yeah, that's a good one, but watching The Hobbit is probably my
Watching The
best one.
Hobbit's
And you know what she said to me? Her and my dad. Yeah, I don't know that one. I'm like, I was like, you guys call yourself fans?
Watching
and
The
you don't know
Hobbit's
watching.
No,
watching The
Watching
Hobbit.
The Hobbit is fantastic.
Watching The Hobbit might be our best song. But anyway, you don't need to play it, Spot.
It's Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park, right?
Yeah.
I want to play a little
I mean, it's a
bit of
Divorced
it.
Dad Rock parody.
Is that on the fourth one?
It is a Ticklesack Tuesday. Again, these songs are available on our website with a password that we'll provide with you.
I like this. Ticklesack Foreskin is a sleeper album.
No, it's Foreskin.
It's a sleeper. It has great songs on it.
What are they doing here?
Doesn't get enough respect.
They choose, which gives us a distinct advantage.
Nerds the new cool. I'm feeling like I gotta raise my stock again. Zoom on the moon. It is my birthday soon. It's my time to join the trend.
I like the Space Command for Zoom.
I was the one who made some fun of a dungeon dragon dude. I used to like to fantasize of women in the nude. But now I'm loving Voldemort and I'm a Lord of Rings. I don't know why I used to hate this Harry Potter scene. I know I'm sounding really lame and now I'm wearing tights and I'm watching The Hobbit. I'm watching The Hobbit tonight.
All right, it goes on and on.
You know what I think is very funny when we're thinking about our parody? Even the one, just because a parody is they make fun of you doesn't mean it's not your favorite one. Like one of my favorites might be when Handsome Gabe does the Game of Thrones, like Rich loves penis, Rich loves penis.
So
Game of Thrones.
many good ones. Oh, yeah. And they're all, again, they're all available with a password that Spot will send out in your next notification. All right, at CovinoandRich.com.
Yeah.
So
If you wanna
I couldn't
reminisce-
believe my parents didn't know Watching The Hobbit, though. I was like, we played that a million times.
How's it go again?
Rich loves mess with penis. Yeah.
Rich loves giant penis in his butt. In his butthole. In his butthole.
Like to me, that's just funny.
Well, since we're doing the Rando news, the Game of Thrones spinoff is coming out in August, and I don't know if you've seen the trailer for it.
People are gonna love it.
You watch Game of Thrones? Why not Marvel?
All right, Spot. I watch all the Marvel just so that fucking Jason Brown and you and Zush and Kyle and all these people can be like,
don't say anything bad about Marvel to Brie.
or Brie. I'll do it for you guys because
Well, that being said,
then I'll expect in return you to watch the Mets every day.
You know
and
what suit I'm wearing at Brie's wedding? An Iron Man suit.
nice. All right. So again, speaking of Game of Thrones, and a shout out to Handsome Gabe, the most handsome.
So handsome.
House of the Dragon, the teaser, I don't know if it's an official trailer, but the teaser has been out and they're promoting it on HBO Max. It premieres August 21st. The story of the Targaryen civil war that took place about 300 years before Game of Thrones. So it's the prequel, and it looks pretty cool, man. I'm fired up about it. I am fired up about that. Something else to look forward to. As I mentioned, the Kentucky Derby was this weekend, 80-1. Rich Strike with the big win.
Blew it, Rich.
Speaking of comedy, Rich mentioned Chris DiStefano. I also watched the David Spade one. It was mid. David Spade was mid, but it had funny moments.
The David Spade was
It had funny moments.
The Chris DiStefano was great, and I thought
Taylor Tomlinson was awesome.
Taylor Tomlinson was
She's my favorite woman comedian, period.
But
I hate to categorize and all, but
she's great, but it was
great.
too much about mental health.
I thought she fucking owned it, though.
Okay.
It wasn't like laugh out loud funny. Her other one was funnier, but this was very real, and she's a master, man. I think Taylor Tomlinson, I'm so impressed by her, is the best in the game. I think she shits on Amy Schumer and anyone else.
There was a Netflix did a Netflix is a Joke comedy festival around LA.
Yeah.
So you'll notice on Netflix now there's a whole bunch of new like short comedy specials from that event around LA.
Yep.
So check it out.
And in news from yesterday, I've been saying it, Nasty Nestor Cortez, the Bronx Nest Monster. The Bronx Nest Monster.
By the way, if you say it multiple times, doesn't make it cooler.
Yeah, it is. Nasty Nestor Cortez, Vato Loco forever.
I looked him up. He was sucky
Former
until
Oriole.
like now. What happened?
Well, he's actually talked about it. I saw it after you and I discussed yesterday. He was like, baseball was all he ever knew, and things are just starting to click. And
sometimes it happens because I said to Covino, I go, "Is this Nasty Nestor who you've talked about this year? Like I should know him? Who
he
is
was good last year too.
He's 27 years old.
He was on the Orioles.
Yeah, but here's the key.
Becker might remember.
He was on the Orioles as a nobody from Nowhereville. No.
Dude,
and then,
he pitched a no-hitter into the eighth, and they pulled him out of the game yesterday.
Yeah, but he's been dominating this year. His ERA's in the ones. He's great, but
1.41.
But here's the question I got to ask you, because you could argue the same about a guy like Jacob deGrom, because deGrom was a bullpen guy who the Mets spot started, and it ended up that, oh wow, this guy deGrom ends up being the best pitcher over the last decade.
Yeah, it is.
But deGrom, who is arguably the best pitcher over the last decade, was a middle relief guy who got a spot start and they rolled with it because of injuries. Nasty Nestor, your boy, look at the last 4 years of his career. He's 27. He's a reliever who this year got...
Yeah, he's got one of those...
Yeah, but how did the Yankees...
What do they call it? Like elastic arms?
Yeah, but how did the Yankees decide to even put him in the rotation? Short on arms or...
I don't know, man, but this dude is having fun. He's creative. Like, he's crafty. He's noticeably, visibly crafty with his angles, his delivery, and the guy's hard to hit, and he might be the best pitcher on the Yankees. Nobody knows him. Again, 1.41 ERA, no hitter into the eighth. They pulled him, and I sort of hate that mentality of today's game. I understand we had a short spring training. What are you thinking, Spot? Short spring in my pants? What are we thinking? I saw you laugh.
All right, so Nasty Nestor.
You like paused like
Nasty Nestor in 2018.
I almost said spring break. That's why.
Nasty Nestor in 2018 pitched 4 games, 4 innings the whole year. That was it. Called up from the minors. Then he was traded to the Yanks. Signed with the Yanks in 2019. He was 5-1, but that's deceptive because he had a 6 ERA. So he must have just came into games like they were tied and got lucky. 33 games, only started one of them. Then he got traded to Seattle for a year. Appeared in 5 games, pitched 7 innings. Nothing from Nowhereville. Goes back to the Yankees last year as a reliever. He pitched 90 innings the whole year. His most he's ever pitched, but his ERA was pretty good, 2.90.
He was solid though.
But not a starter
last year.
But not a starter. Now this year, the dude has started more games than he's ever started pretty much in his whole career.
He's like unhittable. It's crazy. No, and it's not just like, oh, this team and that.
He changed his arm angle apparently.
Changed his arm. He's got one of those rubber arms. He's having fun, and he has a mustache. Nasty Nestor. And speaking of mustaches, I bring that up for a reason. But anyway, he fires me up. Yank D's. That's why I'm rocking this shirt. Available now at shop.covinoandrich.com. We have a new Covino and Rich summer line coming soon at shop.covinoandrich.com. Courtesy of Franz. He's working on the artwork as we speak. Spot. There's a new trend.
Ooh,
and I'm wrapping up. Yeah. Enjoy your NBA playoffs and your MLB and everything else.
Just a couple notes. Johnny Depp not dating his lawyer.
Okay.
Amber Heard allowed something to slip in court, and it allows Johnny Depp's team to dive into something. Did you see this?
She was doing coke in court.
Covino lets things slip all day.
There was one thing where it looked like she posed crying. Did you see that?
She posed what?
She posed crying. Like she was crying and was like,
oh, by the way, please, can you stop right now? Pause. Spot, I sent you a picture yesterday. Did you get it?
The Hillary Duff one?
No, the one of Rich and True Mac.
What is that?
Oh, the cry filter.
Oh, it's the best.
The cry filter on TikTok?
Narzan said to me yesterday, one of our pals, Narzan.
Snapchat one?
He said, yeah, I'm really loving this cry filter app. It's almost like a Where's Waldo. Like you just post a picture of you and your friends and one person cries. There's a cry filter app, and it's so funny. He sent me a picture of Rich and Drew Mack from Nashville. And I have to say, Rich, what's the matter? Come on, it's so
that shit is funny.
That shit is so funny.
It is very funny.
And what they're doing on Snapchat though is they're like talking to their friend, right? And their friend's like, "Hey, what's up? You know, why you got the camera on me? What's wrong? What do you mean what's wrong?" And then the guy's like crying. And you're like, "What's wrong?" Like, nothing's wrong.
Know what I equally love? The spider filter where guys were always like, oh, like slapping themselves in the head and shit.
But that cry filter is on point. And Narzan, actually, Rich was in such a zone yesterday. And Narzan texted me that picture, and I started to laugh, and I wanted to talk about it, but I didn't want to interrupt Rich's stories. So I wanted to point that out today.
Oh, so Amber Heard
was crying.
No, if you know, see, I'm not, and I'm sure you and Spot not familiar with all the ins and outs of legalities of the courtroom and stuff, right?
We're not as knowledgeable as you, of course.
Bro, why you crying?
Why? What do you mean?
What are you crying?
What do you mean?
Covino, what happened, bro?
Why are you crying?
Nothing's wrong, man.
Why are you guys crying?
Why do you keep saying that? I'm fine. What do you mean? I'm inclined to make a cry face. Where are you gonna post that?
Yeah, at Covino and Rich. All right,
so funny. The cry filter face is hilarious.
So Amber Heard, all right, so this is what I understand. This is what I understand. All right, I can't bring up, if let's say the case is about you being a dick to your ex. I can't bring up another one of your exes.
I object.
I can't bring up hearsay. I can't bring up another one of your exes unless you bring it up. So there's a moment in the trial where you see Johnny Depp's whole team was like pumping their fist because Amber Heard said something. Yeah, she slipped up and said something like, "It reminds me of the
what's her name? The model,
Kate Moss.
Yeah,
it reminds me of the Kate Moss." And the minute they said Kate Moss, right, it enables them to bring other things into the trial that'll prove that Johnny Depp. It's just it's like she slipped up. I saw that. The people saying Johnny Depp's dating his lawyer. That's not true. Speaking of Marvel, Spot, and you loving that whole world, Thor's hammer is going to be the highest bid on item at like a movie auction.
Mjolnir?
Hemsworth's hammer.
Mjolnir?
Hemsworth's hammer.
Mjolnir?
It's not the first time Rich Googled that.
Yeah, everyone should Google Hemsworth's hammer. It said they're going to get over $100,000 for it.
Speaking of auctions, the famous painting by Andy Warhol of Marilyn Monroe, that like colored,
of course, 19 million,
195 million.
Oh, I missed like 100. Yeah,
God,
sorry.
You were like
180 million. Yeah,
I mean, it's an iconic piece of art history.
That's wild.
Ask Sammy J, the historian. He knows.
Yeah. I saw that. Let me give you two more quick news alerts and we'll say goodbye.
Well, I have some shout outs to give, so make it snappy.
Chris Kattan wants to do Night at the Roxbury 2, and people are trying to decide, do people want him and Will Ferrell to do that again?
Will Ferrell doesn't want to do it.
You think he can?
I talked to him.
Oh, yeah, you did? Okay, all right. Yeah. So that's not going to happen. If it's your birthday today, you share that with Bono, who's 62. Back. Chris Berman's 67. Keenan Thompson's 44.
Why are you crying?
Why? What do you mean?
What are you crying for?
Covino, what happened, bro?
Why are you crying? What's wrong? Why are you guys crying?
You keep saying that. I'm fine.
Funny.
Oh, man,
that's good.
That's funny.
Guess how old Young MC is? Bust a move.
Young MC? Who gives a fuck?
55.
Bro, why are you crying?
Sorry.
Bro.
Young MC did write Wild Thing in Funky Cold Medina. He had some writing chops, but there's a backstory about
Young MC.
Bust a Move and the producer of it.
Hey, Spock, can you add to the Rock On Covino's clip from Fox this past Sunday where he's like, I'm a rockin' dude?
Yeah, can you have Danny G send that to me? Thanks.
I will.
Well, speaking of Nestor Cortez and his mustache, Nasty Nestor, there's a new mustache trend, and I mustache you, Spot. How do you feel about it? JC in Kentucky sent it to us. Thank you, JC. I sent it to Spot.
Is it filter or a real mustache?
No, it's called the double mustache. And they're saying that this is a trend amongst like fucking dorks. I haven't seen anybody rock it yet, but is it a matter of time? I hope not. Probably not. Just probably something that's gone viral. But double mustaches is the trend. I sent it to you in your Facebook, actually.
Oh, that's
is it like a unibrow and a mustache, or is it a chin and a mustache?
No,
like
for the people who are not watching, it's you're rocking your regular mustache under your nose, above your lip, the dirt above your lip, and then you grow the little soul patch like our buddy Eric, but you shape it in the form of a secondary, almost mini matching mustache, and to the point where you actually grow it out and shape it like an actual mustache.
Hey, it sounds
so
like
you're rocking two mustaches.
Sounds hot.
It's the double mustache trend of 2022. Oh, look at these bad boys. Look at that. The double mustache.
The double stash is that's the look.
Yeah. Ian Kennedy should probably try one of these.
Oh, he definitely should.
Yeah. The double stash. Look at that.
Oh, that's the trend.
Same Neil.
Spot, do you have the picture, like the cover of the article one? Because that's the best one.
Spot, you could
there
do
it
that.
is, that one. Look at that.
You could do that if you wanted.
The double mustache.
Yeah, I guess I could.
I don't think it's the beard's a good look though for you.
The double
I don't
mustache.
know if I'd go double mustache, but geez, that's a look.
All right, and I'm gonna wrap it up, Rich, with a few shout outs, if you're okay with that.
Please do. Did you know the big news though in as far as Fox goes? We're not their most handsome host anymore.
Oh. Did they hire Justin Hartley?
You're not the most handsome host at Fox anymore, Cove, because it's been agreed upon that
I don't know. Ask Madison from Lithium. She might disagree.
Upon his retirement, Fox has announced that Tom Brady will become their number one analyst. I got to double check if this is official yet, but Tom Brady, Fox. Can we see if this is official?
What do you mean, Tom Brady? You mean when he retires?
Tom Brady to join Fox in a lucrative deal as their lead analyst, teaming up Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt as Fox's top team in the broadcast booth the minute Tom Brady retires. Like when Tom Brady retires,
they've already
the
worked
job,
it out?
they worked it out and the job is waiting for him.
Wow.
Tony Romo type money too.
Wow.
So Brady,
that's impressive.
Brady to the booth upon retirement. So Fox Sports.
And by the way, can we say it one more time? Watch the finale of Man in the Arena. If you don't get emotional watching the relationship between him and his dad, then you're not human. You're not human. It was that good. Fantastic. And wow, I mean, he continues to excel and just impress. Tom Brady's the guy. I'm sorry, the man. Few shout outs to give. Amar Tumber. What's up, Amar?
I love Amar.
Amar Tumber. Amar, I love you, man.
I'll tumber for him.
Mike Berkowitz. What's up, Michael Berkowitz? Appreciate you. Chris Kalin.
Oh, Big Burke?
Big Burke.
Oh, yeah, I know that guy.
Chris Kalin. Chandra. Nick Jeffers. What's up, Nick? Raymond Estrada. Adam Miranda. Profiling Paul, who's probably the nicest guy that listens to our show. What a heart of gold he has. Profiling Paul.
They wrote that song about him. Who was that? Neil Young? Wrote the song about Paul.
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
Heart of gold.
And a shout out to all the said Vato clowns, Orale los Vatos, and Miguel Miggs, and all the brown guys listening to the show. I appreciate you very much.
Put them in your mouth.
Yank D's, thank you. Thanks for all your feedback. Let me see. Did I skip anything in the news? Nope, that's all I got, man. The other stuff could wait. I have a really dumb thought, that I'll save for tomorrow. I sort of hinted at it today because Rich gave us some really random, you gotta be high hypotheticals. I have you gotta be high thought tomorrow.
Oh, can't wait.
So maybe you start off with a morning edible and get ready for that. And join me on SXM Lithium. I'm on all week, channel 34. That's from noon to 6, and then Turbo 41. Pop 2K, Rich Davis.
Noon to 6.
Oh, we're competing?
Oh, no.
Oh,
my God.
I don't know if you call it competition.
God. On a side personal note,
I'm the most listened to.
I'm wondering like why they don't just give me the gig. I've been doing it for over a month now on Lithium.
Why do they keep holding out for Grant Random or whoever?
It's like, are they holding out for the previous host, who I think is a true talent, and I love Grant Random. I think he's great, but he's like,
but if he's negotiating
games.
If he's playing negotiating games, what prevents him from just being like, all right, fuck off, we'll give Covino full time?
He's one of the good ones though.
Yeah,
so, but I
I'm
feel the same way. Yeah, like, all right, okay, and then I'm thinking, oh, are they holding out for some sort of like the lead singer of Lit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah. Oh, sorry, Covino.
AJ Popoff or whatever the fuck his name was. You know, so like, are they waiting for that weak ass press release to say that? Oh yeah, this guy's on
Brendan
Lithium.
Boyd of Incubus is now the new.
Yeah, like, because no one cares about that fucking celebrity bullshit. No one listens to any of these celebrities that they promote all the time. So I'm not sure why I haven't been offered the gig yet, but I'm on every fucking day. But either way, I'm having a fun time doing it. So.
And tomorrow we got mail to open. We'll do all that. Until then, arrivederci, baby.
See you in the promised land.
Have a good Tuesday. Bye-bye.
Later, guys.